Welcome everybody to the College of Alameda for the final week of the CCL regular season. Crawdads only have 6 games left and only 2 home games remaining on the schedule, but today they will take on the Alameda Merchants at 6 o'clock here on a Tuesday night. I'm joined here by Olivia Arcianega. My name is Dylan Allen. Olivia, how you doing?
I'm doing good. There's a nice breeze in the air. Getting ready for first pitch coming up in about 10 minutes. I'm excited. I know you said last week of CCL regular season, which is so sad. The season has gone by so fast, but ready to get started.
Absolutely, yeah. It's definitely flown by. It's a quick 2 months, but I'm looking forward to playoffs next week. The Crawdads are currently sitting atop the CCL North after dropping their last game to the Stompers 5-4 at home. So this is a crucial last week for them, even though they're still atop the North. They have a 4-game hold in first place. The Sonoma Stompers are in second, but this is a massive next couple of games for them to remain in first place.
Yeah, it would have been nice for the Crawdads to walk away from today's game 100% clinching the first spot, but that loss to the Stompers again this past Sunday kind of put them a bit behind. But again, they still remain a few games up above the Blues and the Stompers, who are closely following them, trying to maybe get that first place. Again, Crawdads seem to hold it pretty well, but it's still important that they win these next 2 games, because it would be really nice to know going into our slow trip coming up later this week that they've clinched the first place spot. And, they got to keep winning to do that.
Yeah, it's going to be crucial. Excuse me, I said the Stompers are in second place. The Blues are in second. They're 4 games behind, and the Stompers are 4.5 games behind. And the Crawdads will take on the Stompers on Thursday, a rescheduled game from last week. And then, as you said, they'll get the Blues on Friday and Saturday. So really just a huge week to hold first place. And then, as we said, if they do get first place, they will be hosting the playoffs. So it's going to be exciting to see if they can get it, and hopefully they can stay strong. But we'll get into tonight's game. As we said, the Merchants, their last game was against the Legends. They got a 7-4 win at home on Saturday, and the Crawdads lost to the Stompers 5-4. So both teams have a little time to reset. Crawdads had 1 day. The Merchants had 2 days off. And, they're going to come in here with a chance just looking to take them down, honestly.
And it's going to be another tough one. This team is never easy for the Crawdads. There's been times where they've bested them pretty dominantly, 17-1 earlier in the season, but then there's also been times more recently, unfortunately, where the Crawdads could not come out on top, and they've always been close games, always 3-2 losses, couldn't just finish in the bottom of the 9th inning, or more recently, last time we were at College of Alameda, when the Crawdads took it to 11 innings, brought it closer, but because they didn't start earlier in the game, they weren't able to finish later in the game, and so some tough losses against this team, and hopefully they prevail tonight.
Yeah, the Merchants have been at the bottom of the pecking order in the CCL North. It's their first year in the league, so they've kind of been getting their feet under them, but they're still a pretty solid team, and they've taken some brutal losses against the Crawdads, but they've got it back in, and, they compete, and their last game here, they jumped on the board early,
And I would say that this team, again, something very notable from the last few games has been their strategy, their strategicness, the thought they put into pregame and studying our players, who's coming up, who's going to be a lefty batter. In our one game that we played at Laney College, it was the bottom of the 9th inning. We were just a run down from tying the game. And they put in, I think, switched in 3 or 4 pitchers in the bottom of the 9th inning just to match up against Aiden Camberg, who's a lefty batter. Took him out right after that to match up again against our righties. Saw somebody fit differently with Cam Calvillo rather than Cole Kosciuszko, who batted right before him. Just a bunch of changes coming through. So they've studied our players. They want to beat us. These games mean a lot for them. No matter, they're standing in the league. These games, they're coming to play. So it's going to be interesting what strategy they have cooked up for today. And as you take us through our lineup, how they're going to match up against this.
Absolutely. So for your Crawdads tonight, it'll be Mark Wahlberg leading things off at center field, DJ Giorso at second base, who had a pretty notable game, even though we did not record a hit against the Stompers. Cole Kosciuszko will be in the 3-hole playing first base, Cam Calvillo at third base, Aiden Camberg at right field, Ethan Liao in left. In the 7-hole, it'll be Xavier Rios, who is in the DH spot for tonight. As we mentioned on our last pregame show, these catchers have been really ticking things up in the box. Ben Roy will be at shortstop, and Nikhil Beasley will be calling calling the pitches for our starting pitcher, Cal Johnson.
Yeah.
Olivia, any notes about the lineup?
I would say go back to DJ Giorso again, coming in for a short time this season. His first game was last Friday with us. Don't know how much longer he'll be here, but again, also had another big game this past Sunday. Again, like you said, didn't have a hit, but bottom of the ninth was the first batter leading off for the Dads. Hit a ball, and you could have sworn it was going over the fence, and then the right fielder, caught it just at the last second, right as it was hitting right at the warning track. And so, again, a very notable game, though. He came in pinch hitting for Ben Royo, and made his mark on shortstop again. He's been very active out there. And so it'll be exciting to see him play. I'm excited that he's today in the 2 spot instead of the 8 or 9 spot like we've seen him previously.
Yeah, he had quite the ninth inning. He made the diving catch to end diving play on a ground ball to end the ninth, and then led things off, as you said, and just smoked the ball. That was like just a lucky catch out. I mean, the guy in right field just stumbled, and it just fell into his glove.
It was like, it was luck.
Yeah. Yeah. Down 1 run. I mean, that was a huge swing. It easily would have been a double. He might have been able to leg out a triple, and, could have been a different ending there for the Crawdads. But I like him in the box. He's got a really good swing, and I'm excited to see him today.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see, I would point out the designated hitter spot at number 7, Xavier Rios. Again, this is not the first time that Coach Brant Cummings has put him in the designated hitter, as they just said in the announcements behind us. He's been one of those catchers, like we talked about last pregame show, that's really stepped up in the box, has become a lot more dominant with his swings, more decisive with his pitches, taking walks when he's needed to, not striking out as much, and has had 2 home runs in the past few weeks. One against the Stompers, one against, I also believe, the Merchants, but you might want to fact check me on that. But again, somebody who's made significant improvement and who Coach has confidence enough in to put in that designated hitter spot.
Absolutely. And with that, we'll jump into our pitching matchup for the Crawdads. Olivia, if you want to take us through.
So as Dylan mentioned before, we have Cal Johnson as the Crawdads starting pitcher. On the summer, he is 3-2 with a 5.65 ERA, and he has pitched 4 1/3 innings and only has 18 strikeouts, or he has 18 strikeouts to only 5 walks. And we saw him more recently. His last appearance was on July 15th and was his first start to the summer, where he went 5 innings pitched and allowed 4 sorry about that.
4 earned runs.
4 earned runs. Got a little stumbled up there. Before that, his longest appearance was only 2 innings. So again, making his start, coming here to start again, hopefully get the Dads off on the right foot against this Merchants. And the Merchants will try to do the same with Jordan Bolden, who will also be the designated hitter for the Merchants in the 9 spot, which is super interesting. You really don't see that. You don't really see your pitchers batting, honestly, but
We have seen it now twice against the Merchants,
Yeah.
but not a lot against any other teams. They
Super.
had their first baseman when we played them at Laney College, who was the DH as well. He was in the 2 spot and on the mound. So this is now the second time they've had a DH, or they've had their pitcher be DH. So it's interesting.
Super interesting. Maybe that also speaks to how fast they, look to move through their pitchers. None of them tend to be on the mound for very long. Like we see some of our pitchers pitching 4 or 5 on a really good day, maybe 6 innings. But again, so Jordan Bolden, who will also be the designated hitter in the 9 spot today, he is 0-1 on the season with a 5.62 ERA and has only pitched 8 innings during this summer, which super interesting. Again, somebody who is not. Sorry, Carson's sitting here chuckling, and I'm getting a little distracted. But somebody who we haven't seen too much, probably one of those pitchers that I don't know. Coach saw fit to start against the Dads, which will be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. He attends University of Concordia. Not a lot of numbers on the summer, so we'll see if the Dads can get off to a hot start. They can't take this team lightly. They're the 5th. They're 5th in the CCL North. The Crawdads are 1st, but again, the Merchants are going to do everything they can to beat the Crawdads and try and help out the Blues and the Stompers. But Dads got to stay resilient. They got a day off. They got to come out early and attack the strikes that they see.
I agree. And something else I want to point out, that we have Cal Johnson, who just had another fabulous inning July 15th, but our pitching, knock on wood, has been really, really strong, really dominant. They've taken charge on the mound. We had Jackson Bird last game going 5 1/3 innings, Carson Yasa before that. And it's been It's been a really good showing on the mound. And then another thing I think we should point out through the lineup is that Cole Kosciuszko batting in that third spot like we've seen him all year. He is one home run away from setting the record for most Crawdads home runs in a season. I believe even in the CCL North, but again, that's going to have to be double checked. He's sitting at 8 right now. One more home run would put him at 9 and give him the record title. So it's just super interesting. We saw him in a little bit of a slump kind of after the 4th of July break, but he's come back, still made plays. And it looks like we are about to start our national anthem. So we will hand it to Austin Oda and Carson Mercier in a little bit for the game call.
First pitch coming up for your first place Crawdads.
Last time the Crawdads were at Pat Bale Field at the College of Alameda, it was an 11-inning, extra inning, long loss. And today the Crawdads are hoping for a 9-inning affair and a better outcome here at Pat Bale Field. My name is Austin Oda, joined by no one for today's call. A solo 9 innings, hopefully no more, but hey, free baseball wouldn't hurt anyone. The Crawdads and the Alameda Merchants. Let's take a look at the starting 9 for Brant Cummings, 21-10. First place, Walnut Creek Crawdads looking to clinch first place later this week. Mark Wilbert leads it off. He gives Casey Cummings a day off, and he'll be in center field with DJ Giorso at second base. Cole Kosciuszko, the CCL's home run, RBI, and doubles leader, hitting third. Cam Calvillo cleans it up and plays third base with Aiden Cambergen right, Ethan Liao in left. Final third of the lineup, Xavier Rios is the DH. Ben Royo is the shortstop, and rounding out the 9, Nikhil Beasley. And they'll be facing the righty, the two-way player, and the DH for the other squad. It's Jordan Bolden. Bolden on the summer. 3 starts, 0-1, a 5.63 ERA. And he'll be facing Wolbert, Giorso, Kosciuszko, and the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Crawdads wearing their gray tops, dark gray tops, kind of charcoal color with red craw across the chest written in block letters. Dark gray bottoms, black helmets, red trim and lettering. Alameda in their all-whites. Retro jerseys, similar to the old-school Mariners jerseys, with Merchants written across the chest, blue caps. First pitch to Mark Wilbert is down and away, and we are underway from the College of Alameda. 71 degrees and sunny. Your first pitch time and temperature brought to you by Meadowlark Dairy, trying to hang on to that old town vibe since the early 1900s. A ball and no strikes to Wolbert as Jordan Bolden misses outside with a fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Wolbert, left-handed hitter, 341, 2 home runs, 14 driven in. Calm stance from the left side. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch is a slider that darts off the inside, and it's a 3-0 count to Mark Wolbert. Ball gets away from the pitcher, Bolden. Wolbert has been on and off against Alameda this summer. 4 for 18, has driven in 2. Broke a 4-game hit streak with an 0 for 4 in Sunday's loss to Sonoma. The 3-0 pitch is on the outside corner with a fastball. First strike of the game from the righty Jordan Bolden. And always good to see on 3-0. Defense relatively straight up. The third baseman Jacobs playing back on the cut of the outfield grass. 3 balls and a strike to Wolbert. He takes on the outside corner again, 3-2. So Bolden, Zapata, your battery. Scoreless here in the top of the first. Bolden ready. Works exclusively from the stretch. The 3-2 is sliced the other way towards the line. Giving it a look is the left fielder Jack Rogers, but it'll drop to the left side of the chalk, and we'll do it again. Wolbert takes his time getting back into the box. Takes a couple of practice hacks before getting back in. Has really become the table setter that Brant Cummings, the third base coach and manager of the Crawdads, has wanted. And looking to do the same here. A lot of his power goes the other way. The 3-2 is down and away, ball 4. And a good at bat from the Crawdads leadoff hitter. Starts out the game with a 6-pitch walk.
Now batting the second baseman, number 6, DJ Giorso.
That'll bring up DJ Giorso, his second start as a Crawdad. He's played in all 4 games that he's been here for. 2 of those come off the bench. 1 as a defensive replacement, 1 as a pinch hitter. And he's made his impact felt. Had a tremendous play defensively in what seemed like it was the game saver of the last game against Sonoma as he swings through a first pitch fastball. Strike 1. Giorso, though, 1 for 7 officially at the dish. Does have a double on the summer. Has hit a lot of balls hard. Over to two-step leadoff first as Giorso gets plunked on the right thigh. So good start for the Crawdads. 2 free base runners. And here comes Cole Kosciuszko. A long, slow walk to the plate for the Crawdads' first baseman. Mark Wolbert led off the game with a walk. DJ Giorso, the Crawdads' newest addition, just got hit by a pitch. And that's where we stand. Runners on first and second, nobody down for Cole Kosciuszko. Kosciuszko, 320, 8 home runs, 38 driven in. Toes the batter's box, right planted in the middle. Usually see guys either all the way up front or all the way in the back, but he's right in the middle of the batter's box. Holds his hands over his back shoulder. First pitch to him, smash the other way down the first base line, actually, and that's going to get foul. 0-1. Bolden toes the rubber. Infield, outfield, straight up. The wind blows pretty sharply towards right field. See if Kosciuszko can get a ball elevated. He instead goes the other way towards deep left. Jack Rogers, the left fielder, retreats, makes the catch. Tagging from second, Wolbert. The throw to third is just a little late now. Skips away from the third baseman, moving up to second. On the play is Giorso without a throw. So a productive at bat for Cole Kosciuszko. Doesn't get a run batted in, but does move both runners up. And it looks like Jacob Ornelas, the second baseman, wants to check. So Bolden, the pitcher, is going to throw it back that way. Ornelas walks to the base. We will see. We will see. He is safe, says the field umpire. The umpires from first to third, or I should say from home to third. Mike Stankiewicz behind the plate. Harvey Maxey at third. Dylan Brewster at third. Let's take a look at the defense behind Jordan Bolden. The outfield from left to right. Jack Rogers, Casey Levin-McGee, and Aiden Toklas with Jace Jeremiah, Jacob Ornelas up the middle. Blake Jacobs, Rocco Borelli at the corners. Frank Zapata behind the plate, and Jordan Bolden on the mound. His first pitch to Calvillo misses down and away with a fastball, a ball, and no strikes. Runners on second and third, no score here in the first. 1 out in the inning. Calvillo, 366, 3 home runs, 22 driven in. Bats from the right side, lines one slowly towards second. Second baseman Ornelas fields on 3 hops and will retire Calvillo at first. But scoring on the play is Mark Wolbert, and the Crawdads take an early 1-0 lead. In this series between the two teams, when Walnut Creek has struggled, it's because they haven't been able to score off of Alameda starting pitching. So to be able to get at least a run here in the first and threaten for more, and really more than that, to even do so without a single hit, it's a good sign. Here's Aiden Camberg. First pitch to him is a changeup that misses off the outside corner and low. Ball 1. Camberg, 347, 2 home runs, 12 driven in. Bats from the left side. Closed off stance. Holds his bat flat on his back shoulder. Bolden's 1-0. Camberg takes on the outside, called strike 1. 1-0 Walnut Creek leads here in the first from Pat Bale Field in Alameda. The Crawdads looking to clinch first place in the CCL North sometime this week. Camberg watches a curveball dip below the zone, 2 balls and a strike. Walnut Creek had a chance to clinch their spot in the playoffs back on Sunday. Instead, lost a game to Sonoma. That would have cut the magic number to 1. Here's the 2-1 to Camberg, and he flips it foul off to the left, 2-2. So instead, the magic number for a spot in the CCL playoffs stands at 3. The magic number to clinch first place still at 4. All eyes will be on the games down in San Luis Obispo and in San Francisco, where Sonoma plays, as the 2-2 misses up and away. A slider that just popped up out of the hand of Bolden, and the count is run full. Pretty high-stress inning so far for Jordan Bolden. That pitch number 18, and still Walnut Creek threatening as the 3-2 misses down by the back foot of Aiden Camberg, and he does what he does best, and that's take a long at-bat and work it for a walk. And it'll be runners on the corners for Ethan Liao.
Ethan Liao.
2 walks and a hit by pitch in the inning for the Crawdads against Jordan Bolden, who does have a little bit of a tendency to struggle with the walk. So far on the summer for Bolden, 8 walks in 8 innings. Ethan Liao steps into the right-handed batter's box and takes a ball that misses up and away, ball 1. 306 average for Liao, 2 home runs, 12 driven in. It's been a while since he's seen one leave the yard, but he does have that power. Throw over to first, and Camberg back in safely. Wolbert led off the inning with a walk. Giorso followed with a hit by pitch, and then Cole Kosciuszko moved both runners up with a flyout to left field. Cam Calvillo drove in Walnut Creek's first run of the game with a ground out to second, and then another Aiden Camberg walk. He goes from first, pitches down and away. Zapata will not have a throw as Camberg's into second with a head first dive. And the Crawdads again have 2 in scoring position with 2 outs and a 2-0 count to their 6th place hitter, Ethan Liao. Giorso on third. He's been stranded there for a while with Camberg on second after the steal. Liao, right-handed batter, waves the bat forward twice. Closed off stance with his front foot, towing the inside of the chalk line. 2-0 to him here is waved through and missed. 2-1. A fastball that spun on the outside, and Bolden finds a little leverage in his favor. Good speed on the base paths for Walnut Creek. And Liao, who was so good with runners in scoring position at the start of the year, has cooled off a little bit, looking to pick it back up. The 2-1. Curveball misses down and in. 3-1. Not the start that Jordan Bolden has wanted in this one so far. Dustin Chaney, the Alameda head coach, has done a really good job getting success with some of his openers. Rocco Borelli being the one with the most success, but Jordan Bolden has not really had it so far today. The 3-1 to Liao misses outside, ball 4. Not particularly close with the fastball. The 3rd walk of the inning for Jordan Bolden, and the bases will be loaded for Xavier Rios.
DH number 9, Xavier Rios.
We mentioned how good the Crawdads catching core has been in the month of July, swinging the bat, and a big part of that has been Xavier Rios. We knew about the power coming into the year, and he really didn't show it for the first month or so of the season, but now 2 home runs in the last couple weeks, plus a lot of doubles, a handful of triples, both in one game against Menlo Park. First pitch misses down low, 1-0. For Bolden this inning, 15 balls to just 9 strikes. Only 2 balls have been put in play. Other than that, 3 walks and a hit by pitch. Rios might even still have the red light. Ahead in the count, 1-0. Here's the pitch, down and away, 2-0. Overall in the summer, 267 for Xavier Rios, a pair of home runs, 12 driven in, as Alameda's going to send an arm to the bullpen early on. Giorso on third, Camberg on second, and Ethan Liao on first. A 2-0 count to Rios, sits the bat on his back shoulder and waits. 2-0, fastball called a strike on the outside edge at the knees, 2-1. Looks like Rios has opened his stance up just a little more. He's pretty closed off at the start of the summer now. Sits with a lot of power in his back leg. With the bases loaded and 2 outs, the pitch from Bolden. Curveball skied right side, going foul. Zapata, the catcher, gives it a look. It'll drop past the bleachers and even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3 walks, a hit by pitch, a fly out and a ground out. That's how the Crawdads have taken a 1-0 lead here in the first. Already 27 pitches for the righty Jordan Bolden. On the other side, Cal Johnson still waiting, and he'll have at least a 1-run lead to work with in the bottom half of the first. Deuce is wild with the bases loaded and a 1-0 Crawdads lead. Bolden from the stretch delivers. Rios takes a ball that darts off the outside, ball 3. And again, the big struggle for the Crawdads in the second half, which has not been what they've wanted it to be has been a lack of scoring early on and their pitchers having to work from behind. A crooked number in the first would be huge. The runners will be off. The 3-2 is Jack swung at and fouled straight back. We'll do it again. Another good at bat for Xavier Rios, who is just starting to exude confidence at the plate. That was not something we were able to say early on in the year, but he's really taken a step forward. Giorso, Camberg, Liao will all be off from third, second, and first respectively. Rios waits in the right-handed batter's box as Bolden comes set. The 3-2 pitch one more time is swung on and missed, strike 3. Foul tipped back into the glove of the catcher Zapata, and somehow Bolden able to get through the first with only 1 run allowed. We'll head to the bottom half of the first for Cal Johnson Bump Day on the other side here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. An early 1-0 lead for the Walnut Creek Crawdads as we head to the bottom of the first. Crawdads and Merchants. And Cal Johnson, let's take a look at the lineup. The righty is going to be facing for Alameda. Frank Zapata, the leadoff hitting catcher, will be followed by Jacob Ornelas, the second place second baseman. Jack Rogers hits third. He's been great against the Crawdads all year with Casey Levitt McGee in the cleanup spot playing center field. Rocco Borelli, the first baseman, hits fifth. Aiden Toklas, the right fielder, bats sixth. Blake Jacobs is on a tear, but he's in the seventh spot with Jace Jeremiah at short hitting eighth. And the DH and pitcher, Jordan Bolden, batting ninth. We'll get you Cal Johnson's stats in just 1 second, but he'll be going right on right against the catcher, Frank Zapata. The first pitch to him is a fastball on the inside called strike one. Zapata, 3.08 average, no home runs, but 4 driven in, and has really found himself a home in the leadoff spot for Alameda. Rests the bat on his back shoulder, now picks it up, rests it again, and readies the 0-1 is a curveball that drops in at the knees, and Cal Johnson ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Really good to see from him, as his struggle early on in his last start against San Francisco was falling behind early. But he's ahead 0-2, and he delivers. It's a slider popped back behind the screen. We'll do it again. Zapata 5 for 17 this summer against a really good Crawdads pitching staff. He's held his own. Does have a double mixed in there. Holds the end of his bat parallel to the ground. Now, again, brings it back past the right shoulder. Very closed off stance. No balls and 2 strikes from Johnson. Fastball misses up high and tight, 1-2. Walnut Creek's defense is straight up. The center fielder, Mark Wolbert, with a slight shade towards the right side of the second base bag. Johnson working from the stretch in the first base side of the rubber, delivers a curveball down and away, 2-2. Johnson worked ahead, no balls and 2 strikes, but has delivered a pair of balls, and the count has run even. He checks with the home plate umpire, Mike Stankiewicz, and Stanky said, yeah, it's 3-2. Cal Johnson said, no, it's 2-2. And Stanky said, you know what? You're right. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Johnson. Fastball lofted right side. Kosciuszko, the first baseman, goes behind the first base bag, gives way to Giorso, who dives, and he can't make the play. Back-to-back days that Cole Kosciuszko's had some trouble over at first base. That one likely not his ball necessarily. You're always taught a ball behind the third or first base bag is the shortstop or second baseman's ball, respectively. Kosciuszko couldn't make the play on that one, though. It was kind of closer to him. Giorso was hustling over. I think that was almost an I got it, you take it moment from the both of them. Instead, Zapata gets another life at the plate, takes a couple practice hacks. Stankiewicz gives him a little time. Johnson, though, is ready. Holds the glove flat on his left knee. Now comes set just above the belt. The 2-2 once again is tapped towards third. Calvillo behind the third base bag has to make a long throw across the diamond. A first it is not in time as Zapata beats it out. A leadoff single after the infield error on the foul ball. And that's how things get started for Alameda. For Cal Johnson, the Crawdads starter, making his second start of the summer. He's been good, and the numbers are really not indicative of how good he's been overall. 3-2 league record, a 5.65 ERA, 10 games, 1 start, 13 strikeouts to 2 walks, and both of those numbers you absolutely love. Both of his walks came in back-to-back games on the 20th and 22nd of June, both in league play. Here's Jacob Ornelas, the second baseman. First pitch, skied right side. That'll drift foul off towards the right into the Crawdads bullpen area. No balls and a strike. 1-0 Walnut Creek leads here in the bottom half of the first inning from Pat Bale Field in Alameda. Crawdads and Merchants, a matchup that Walnut Creek has really struggled with this year. An extra inning loss, an ugly extra innings win earlier in the year, and then a 3-2 loss at Laney College. As Johnson throws over to first, had Zapata leading, and they got him. A nice move from the Crawdads righty to get the first out of the inning and erase the infield single, erase the error. Let's take a look at the Crawdads defense. The outfield from left to right, Ethan Liao and Aiden Camberg are in the corners with Mark Wolbert giving Casey Cummings a day off in center field. Best arm in center with Mark Wolbert. The infield from third to first, Cam Calvillo, Ben Royo. At second base, DJ Giorso. And at first, Cole Kosciuszko. Behind the plate, Nikhil Beasley with Cal Johnson on the mound. No balls and a strike with an out now to Jacob Ornelas, the right-handed hitter, 230 average. Swings through a slider over the heart of the plate, 0-2. Ornelas steps out, readjusts. He's got the high socks, yellow numbers. Really does look like a Mariner from the 80s. Super closed off stance. Chokes up about 3 inches on the bat, ready for the 0-2 as he pops one up. Medium deep center field, Mark Wolbert. Started back, now comes in. Plants makes the grab for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down, not the easy way necessarily, but Cal Johnson will take it, especially after his team gave him a 1-0 lead back in the first. And that'll bring up Jack Rogers. Rogers has been the most consistent player for Alameda all summer. It feels like every time we look at his numbers, he's right around the 280 mark, hitting with a little bit of power, driving guys in, and really all summer what he's done best is kill the Crawdads. 6 of 22, but with 2 doubles. He's driven in a handful of runs, and every single time it feels like there's a big spot between these two teams, this guy's up. Stands closed off, waves the bat forward once, now holds it parallel to the ground over his right shoulder. First pitch, curveball, lofted in the air, left field. Moving back into his left, Ethan Liao, the left fielder, now comes in, makes the catch, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. And a good start for Cal Johnson. Alameda gets a hit, but a pickoff, so no runner stranded. We'll head to the top of the second, where Walnut Creek leads it 1-0. An inning in and already a new pitcher for Alameda. David Andrus comes in to face the Crawdads. He has been pretty solid this summer. Big strikeout, big walk, big guy. Stands all of 6'9", 215 pounds, and works a whippy left-hand delivery. 0-1, a 5.87 ERA, and a 1-0 lead for the Crawdads. The Crawdads will send Ben Arroyo, Nikhil Beasley, and Mark Wolbert to face Andrus. Already leading 1-0. Andrus, the lefty, delivers a fastball over the middle of the plate. Swung through strike one. So the final line on Jordan Bolden: didn't give up a hit, but gave up a run. It was earned. 3 walks, one strikeout, No balls and a strike. Arroyo pops it up sky high right side. The right fielder, Aiden Toklas, right there. Barely had to move as now he drifts over his right shoulder to make the catch for out number 1. And a good start for Andrus, much better than his starting pitching counterpart. I mentioned back in the first inning that Alameda's had pretty good success going with an opener to a bulk guy. And we saw that back in the first couple times these two teams played, where they would go with someone like Jordan Bolden or Rocco Borelli, and then they would throw David Andrus for 3-4 innings. Here's Nikhil Beasley as he takes a fastball that catches the outer block for strike 1. Walnut Creek leads 1-0 here in the second. Beasley, the right-handed hitter, waits and swings over the top of a frisbee slider, 0-2. 268 average, no home runs, 7 driven in, but Beasley hitting .333 since the turn of the month of July. Waits with a slightly open stance for the 0-2. Here it comes. It's down and away. Ball 1 with a fastball. Andrus, we've seen get that fastball up in the low 90s. He's got really, really good stuff, evidenced by 17 strikeouts in 15 1/3 innings. 1-2. Tried to go to the back door with the slider, but couldn't find it. Spun off of it, and the count evens at 2 balls apiece. 17 strikeouts, but 14 walks for Andrus. The 2-2 is up high and away. Ball 3. He was way out ahead of Nikhil Beasley, way out in front, and has fallen behind now in the count, 3-2. Andrus ready. Delivers the 3-2. It is swung on and missed. Strike 3. A fastball over the outside edge. And it's back-to-back guys retired by David Andrus, the first by way of the K. That'll bring up Mark Wolbert, who led off the game for the Crawdads and scored Walnut Creek's only run. Led off with a 7-pitch walk and then moved to second on a hit by pitch of DJ Giorso, moved to third on a flyout by Cole Kosciuszko, came home on a ground ball by Cam Calvillo. The first pitch to the lefty is a changeup that misses down and away, ball 1. Officially Wolbert 0 for 0. Got the OBP up. Stands from the left side now, the 1-0. Wolbert pops it up left side, drifting. That'll get well foul. A ball and a strike. One to nothing. Walnut Creek leads here in the top half of the second as Wolbert watches the slider spin off the outside edge. 2-1. Andrus, we've seen mostly fastball slider. He did open this at bat to Wolbert with a changeup. Ready with the 2-1, works quickly and delivers as Wolbert slices it the other way. That'll go well foul again, and we'll do 2 balls and 2 strikes once more. The Crawdads sitting at 21-10, looking to clinch first place. They would do so by winning 4 straight. They would actually even do so by winning 3 straight, as that would mean that they both take the season series and secure the magic number over SLO, as the 2-2 misses outside with a slider, 3-2. And that final game of the 3 games that they would need to win would come against SLO. That would cut that magic number from 2-0, assuming the Crawdads won today and tomorrow. 3-2 is down and away, ball 4. So Andrus was able to work back after getting ahead 0-2 and falling behind 3-2 to Beasley, but can't do the same with Mark Wolbert, who's on for the second time today with a pair of walks.
Number 6, DJ Giorso.
That'll bring up DJ Giorso.
Is half off for the rest of this half inning for all hot foods.
Giorso 1 for 7 on his summer. Was hit by a pitch back in his last at bat. Stands from the right side. We've learned he's got lightning in that stick. He's got a lot of power from the right side. Andrus' first pitch misses up and out, 1-0. Giorso recently committed to LMU, so congrats to him. Only here for a short time as a Crawdad, but he's looked good in the red and black and made his impact known. A ball and no strikes. The pitch to him misses in the same spot. 2-0. A lot of arm side misses for David Andrus, who has so much talent. One of the more talented guys we've seen this summer. Just has struggled to put it together at times. 2 balls and no strikes. Over to short lead off first. Andrews looks over that way, now to the plate with the 2-0. A fastball on the inside edge. Called strike 1. Mike Stankiewicz just rung him up like it was strike 3. And that was only the first one. So Giorso's got at least 2 more to play with. The 2-1. This one is strike 2 on the inside. We'll do it again. As now Stankiewicz knows the count. He might have thought it was no balls and 2 strikes originally. But now it's 2-2. Andrus searching for his second strikeout of the inning. The 2-2. Wolbert runs. Pitch sliced right side. That'll go well foul. Giorso puts it in play with 2 strikes. Wolbert has to retreat. We will do 2 balls and 2 strikes again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Andrews, the high set and the 2-2. It is tapped over the mound, charging the second baseman Ornelas. Gonna have to backhand, throws to first in time to retire. Giorso hustling down the first baseline for out number 3. The Crawdads get a 2-out base runner on a walk, but can't score. 1-0 Walnut Creek as we head to the bottom of the second here on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the second inning, Crawdads lead the Merchants 1-0. Cal Johnson was able to work a 1-2-3 first inning after a pickoff move, erased a leadoff single, and he'll try to do the same here in the second against the 4, 5, 6 spots in Alameda's lineup. Casey Levitt-McGee, Rocco Borelli, and Aiden Toklas all to hit for the Merchants. Levitt-McGee, left-handed hitter, doesn't have a ton of power, but just gets on base and has really killed the entire CCL North this year. First pitch to him is fly to the left side. That'll go well foul, 0-1. Levitt-McGee, 329 hitter, no home runs, 7 driven in, 6 of 12 against the Crawdads with a double. And, I mean, I said it right there. It's just a lot of good at-bats against just about everyone he faces. He's behind 0-1 on Cal Johnson. The righty who works from the stretch, sets just above the belt, kicks and delivers a fastball at the knees on the outside, called strike 2. And Johnson, just like he did back in the first to Frank Zapata, is ahead 0-2. Levitt-McGee swings a bright yellow bat with a blue handle. Taps it on both sides of the plate. Waves it forward a couple times now. Both sides are ready. Johnson's 0-2 is down and away. Looked like he went to the changeup. Couldn't get the chase 1-2. Johnson, no strikeouts, no walks so far. Doesn't have the biggest strikeout stuff, but he can get them when he needs to. And he's proven to be pretty clutch for the Crawdads this year. Ahead in the count, 1-2. His delivery is a curveball lined left side. That's going to drop and split the gap in the left field alleyway. Liao over to cut it off. Levitt-McGee takes a wide turnaround first, but he'll stop at first base, content with a single. The second hit of the day for Alameda.
Rocco Borelli.
Here's Rocco Borelli, the first baseman, who we've seen on both sides of the ball and has really been good, especially on the mound. Hits in the 5 spot, though. Waves the bat forward a couple times. Taps it in the batter's box, now steps in. Johnson set. The first pitch to Borelli is a check swing on a ball that nabs the outside corner. Strike 1. Borelli, 224 hitter, no home runs, 8 runs driven in. Infield, outfield, straight up with the middle pinch towards double play depth for the Crawdads. The first baseman, Kosciuszko, holding Levitt McGee, and a small lead off first. Johnson's 0-1. Slider misses low, 1-1. 1-0, Walnut Creek leads in the bottom half of the second inning. Still no hits for the Crawdads and 2 for Alameda, but they got their first reversed on a pickoff and now have a runner on first, leading off the second. Borelli steps out. Steps back in. Johnson looks over towards Levitt McGee at first. 1-1. Roller left side. Royo backhands, shovels to second one. Giorso on to first. It is in time double play. Kosciuszko digs it out on the back end. 6-4-3. The Crawdads have erased both leadoff base runners. 2 outs for Aiden Toklas.
The right fielder, number 44, Aiden Toklas.
With how much the shortstop Royo had to back up to get that ball, I thought there was almost no chance, especially with Borelli's speed, that they would be able to turn a double play. But a nice turn by Giorso, and really that's the most underrated part of it all, is Giorso had to nip the second base bag with his right toe and then almost off his back foot throw to first base. Kosciuszko, a beautiful dig on the other end. Here's Aiden Toklas, who has been on fire as he watches the first pitch changeup miss off the outside, 1-0. 300 average for the right fielder, a home run, 9 runs driven in, and is on a streak of 4 straight multi-hit games where he's 8 for 17 with 2 doubles. 1-0, skips in, 2-0. Crawdads 1, Merchants nothing here in the bottom of the second, with Walnut Creek sitting in first place in the CCL North, looking to extend their 4-game lead over San Luis Obispo. Again, we'll have eyes on those games probably starting next inning. We'll just keep giving you some updates as the 1-0, the 2-0 actually, skied to center field, but Mark Wolbert looks like it's in the park for him as he reaches back and down to make the catch just shy of the warning track for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for Cal Johnson, this time helped by his double play duo up the middle. We'll head to the top of the third where the Crawdads lead it 1-0. Cole Kosciuszko leads off the top half of the third inning against David Andrews, with the Crawdads leading 1-0 here in Alameda. Andrews, the lefty, Kosciuszko, the lefty. Kosciuszko 0 for 1, and the first pitch from Andrews is down and away as it skips back almost towards the pitcher's mound. Andrews off the hill to get it, and he will not keep that ball. Zapata is going to give him a new one. A 1-0 count to Kosciuszko. 0 for 1, but with a productive at bat, flew out to left field, moving runners from first and second, changing that to second and third, which ended up netting the Crawdads a run as the 1-0 misses up and in with a fastball. 2-0. Andrews has a lot of arm side run. Really a tough matchup for a lefty like Kosciuszko. Maybe the most talented hitter in the CCL. As he taps one over towards the Crawdads dugout, skips in past Ethan Liao in, not even in the on-deck circle, not even in the hole. He's the fourth guy in line this inning, but he's ready to take his hacks, which I think says something about the confidence that this team has in each other. 2-1, Kosciuszko flares it left side. That'll get foul again, and it's a 2-strike count for the Crawdads' first baseman. Andrew struck out a batter, Nikhil Beasley, back in the second. Strikeout artist, averaging over 1 per inning this year as he delivers a slider down and away, 3-2. Crawdads 1, Merchants nothing, top of the third inning. Seemed like Walnut Creek was going to score more back in the first, but they've been held scoreless since then. 3-2 is down and away, ball 4. A good pitch from Andrews, but better eye from Kosciuszko, and he's able to take a ball off the outside and low to reach base for the first time. Here's Cam Calvillo. Calvillo 0 for 1, but did drive in a run in his first at bat. Had a ground out to second with runners on second and third and 1 out. That drove in Walnut Creek's only run of the game, and to this point, the game's only run of the game. Calvillo, wide open stance from the right side. All of his weight starts on his back foot. First pitch to him. Outside, ball 1. Back when the Crawdads and Merchants played at Laney College a couple of matchups ago, Calvillo came up with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 9th inning, with Walnut Creek trailing by 1, and hit his hardest hit ball of the day. As here he takes the ball on the inside, called strike 1. Unfortunately, he was right at the center fielder, and the Crawdads, I mean, that was the worst stretch of Crawdads baseball this season. 2 losses in 3 games, which really doesn't sound that bad compared to, what we've seen some other teams struggle with, but that was a scary time. 1-1 misses up and away with a fastball, 2-1. Since then, it's been pretty much all Crawdads. A couple losses mixed in here and there. Both to Sonoma, both big ones to Sonoma, and then a 1-run loss to San Francisco. 2 balls and a strike to Calvillo. Andrews lobs over to first. It's low, but Borelli's able to scoop it out. He started towards his backhand side and then darted over towards his left to make the play. 2 balls and a strike to Calvillo. Kosciuszko walked to get to first base to lead off the inning. Now Calvillo slightly in a hitter's count. Waves the bat forward a couple times. Now stands calm in the right-hand batter's box. Andrews is 2-1. Up high, ball 3. We've seen Andrews miss a good amount to that exact spot, up and away to right-handed hitters. Fastball with 2-seam action, has a lot of tail on it. And he's fallen behind Calvillo. 3 balls, a strike, no outs here in the third. Andrews the high set. Now the 3-1 delivery. Calvillo smokes it to center field, but it looks like it's right at the center fielder, Levitt McGee, who reaches up towards his backhand side to make the catch as the ball kept carrying on him. It was just hit so hard. And unfortunately, Calvillo has nothing to show for it. He's 0 for 2.
The right fielder, number 12, Aiden Camber.
That'll send up Aiden Camberg. Camberg walked in his first at bat, as he tends to do. Leads the CCL in OPS up well over 1,000. Anytime you hear an OPS starting 1 dot, you're feeling pretty good. Lefty on lefty, Camberg takes a fastball right at the belt on the inside edge. 0-1. He was the second walk that Jordan Bolden allowed and then stole second base. Was stranded there in the first inning after an Ethan Liao walk and a strikeout of Xavier Rios. No balls and a strike from Andrews. Slider tapped over the head of a slew of Crawdads, mostly Casey Cummings. Then it goes and almost hits the starter, Cal Johnson. So maybe some bad juju from the front of the dugout for letting it go all the way back there into the unsuspecting realm of their starter. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Camberg grounds it. Left side could be 2. Jeremiah gobbles. Goes to second 1. Ornelas plants. Throws high to first. And Borelli can't pick it out. As what turns into what could have been a double play, instead will turn into a runner on second. As Camberg gets to advance. No. They're going to call Camberg out at first base on interference on Kosciuszko sliding into second. So no real argument from Brant Cummings. What should have been a double play turned into not, and then that's exactly what it ended up turning into. So the Crawdads go scoreless for the second straight inning. Cal Johnson back out to the bump when we come back. Cal Johnson's been good through 2 innings, looking to make it 3 scoreless against the bottom third of Alameda's lineup. It's Blake Jacobs, Jace Jeremiah, and Jordan Bolden to face the Crawdads righty. Walnut Creek and Alameda, Crawdads leading 1-0 here in the third. Jacobs, 235, but 2 home runs, 7 driven in. And talk about being on a tear. 4 for his last 7 with both of his home runs and a double. Sends the bat straight up in the air. First pitch, tried to get a curveball in there, but it misses just a little low as Beasley's unable to snap it up behind the plate. A ball and no strikes. 1 for 7 this summer against the Crawdads. 1-0. Slider at the knees on the outside, 1-1. Last time we saw these two teams play, Aiden Camberg hit a home run, and on his way rounding third base, he said some words to Blake Jacobs, and so I went over and I had to ask him as Jacobs takes a curveball down and away. I said, was that were you John, or was that all friendly? And he says, no, that's my roommate. That's one of my best friends. And it turns out they're not just living together in Santa Barbara the last year, but they're staying together this summer. 2-1. Jacobs watches a fastball in towards his hands. 3-1. So Camberg, whose parents moved from the area to Arizona, needed a place to stay this summer. The Crawdads low on host families, and so Blake Jacobs and his family came through. 3-1. Slider. Called ball 4. Wow, not quite sure where that missed. Maybe a little outside, maybe a little low. But the first walk of the day for Cal Johnson, and all innings, in all of the innings for Alameda, they've had their leadoff runner on base, and in all of the innings for Alameda, Cal Johnson has been able to shut them down. Here's Jace Jeremiah, the shortstop, 222, no home runs, 10 driven in, but he has been also on fire. This Alameda roster, which started out really, really cold and really was one of the worst teams in the conference, completely turned it around. Jeremiah squares to bunt, taps it out in front of the plate. Johnson, the pitcher, out to get it. Underhand shovel to first in time to retire Jeremiah. As moving up to second on the play is Blake Jacobs. And for the first time, even though Alameda's had 3 base runners, they've got a runner on second base.
The designated hitter, number 5, Jordan Bolden.
So 1-3 on the sacrifice, and that'll bring up Jordan Bolden, who started the game on the mound and now will stay in the game as the DH spot. So they're using the Otani rule on the 9th place hitting DH. Wasn't great on the mound today, gave up the run, and right now is in line for the loss. So he would love to help his case here. Closed off stance from the right side. A heavy bat waggle. First pitch from Johnson. Fastball misses up and in, ball 1. Bolden just 1 run driven in this year. 216 hitter, no home runs. Twitchy player. Really on both sides of the ball. A lot of movement in everything he does. Big sides lead off second for Jacobs. The 1-0 from Johnson is hit high in the air. Shallow center field. Wolbert started back now. Sprints in. Slides and makes the catch for out number 2 as he came crashing hard towards the ground and made the play. Flips to second base. And that's a really nice play by the Crawdads center fielder.
14, Frank Zapata.
That'll bring up Frank Zapata, who is 1 for 1 on his day with an infield single before he ended up getting picked off by Cal Johnson. Zapata just continues to work at bats, good at bats against the Crawdads, now hitting .333 against Walnut Creek pitching this summer and over .300 on the year. He's been kind of the only guy other than Casey Levitt-McGee that's been consistently up over that .300 mark for Alameda this summer. Johnson with a runner on second and 2 outs. First pitch to Zapata is a slider that drops in at the knees called strike 1. 1-0 Walnut Creek leads here in the third. Johnson looking to put up his 3rd consecutive 0, making his 2nd start of the year after starting last Monday. He was really good, and so far he's been equally as good as he's going to call out Nikhil Beasley to the mound. I think this is a good time for a look around the CCL, brought to you by American Stage Tour, small enough to care and large enough to compete. First, we'll take a look at the 2 games that are really important to us, San Luis Obispo and Sonoma. Slow leads Menlo Park 2-0. So as of now, unless Menlo Park can mount a comeback, it's not looking like Walnut Creek's going to be able to gain 2 games of ground in terms of the magic number mark, and Sonoma and San Francisco tied at 0 in the third. No balls and a strike, a fastball misses high. Other games going on, Arroyo Seco is dominating Orange County early on, 6-1 in the bottom of the second at Jackie Robinson Field. Conejo dominating the Academy 5-0. San Diego and Ventura County still yet to start off in that one. A ball and a strike to Zapata. Pops one up right side. Kosciuszko, the first baseman, charging in. Beasley gives it a look as well, but it'll drop foul for strike 2. So a similar count to what Zapata was in back in the first inning, where he fell behind 0-2, was able to saw off a couple pitches, and then chop one over the third base bag for a single. Ball to the outfield, would likely score a run with a 2-out jump from Blake Jacobs on second. A ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Johnson still looking for his first strikeout. The 1-2 pitch is at the knees, but called the ball just a little low on the slider, and the count evens at 2. Johnson has not gotten that spot yet today, especially with his breakers. But it's a spot he's gone to all summer. Looking to find success with again. Count even at 2 with a runner on second. Here's the 2-2 from Johnson. It is swung on and missed, strike 3. A curveball off the outside, got the chase, and that's the first strikeout. Comes in a big spot for Cal Johnson. We'll head to the 4th. Walnut Creek leads 1-0 when we come back. Ethan Liao leads off the top half of the 4th inning against David Andrews and watches the first pitch miss down and away, ball 1. Liao with the Crawdads leading 1-0. Walked in his first at bat. That came and pushed the bases loaded back in the first as Walnut Creek was unable to score from there. 1-0, a swing and a miss on a fastball past him on the inside, 1-1. The Crawdads have held that 1-0 lead since. Have been unable to score more, but Cal Johnson has been terrific in the rotation in his second start of the summer. 1-1, Liao cuts and misses, 1-2. Andrews has looked good since he's come in. He's walked a pair of batters but struck out 1 and has limited the hard contact. Got a double play ball to end the last inning. A ball and 2 strikes to the Crawdads left fielder. Andrews is 1-2. Is called strike 3 on the outside at the letters. Liao didn't think so. Second strikeout for Andrews. This is kind of just what he's done against the Crawdads and what I think we've come to expect from him. In his last game against the Crawdads, went 4 shutout innings. Gave up just 1 hit, struck out 3, but walked 4. But again, 4 shutout innings against a really good Crawdads offense. Here's Xavier Rios, who struck out in a big spot in his first at-bat. That came with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and again, the Crawdads were unable to push anything across. Here he skies one deep towards right field. Tocklets, the right fielder, going back towards the warning track. He reaches up and makes the catch. So he had to spin over his right shoulder and turn back to make the catch. Rios gave it a ride, but a loud out number 2, and that'll bring up Ben Royo. Royo also 0 for 1, flew out to right field in his first at-bat. Crawdads lead it 1-0. Still looking for their first hit of the contest. Alameda pitching has done a really, really good job, especially since those 3 walks from Bolden, as Royo fouls the first pitch straight back 0-1. It's almost an area you don't expect the ball to go. Came at kind of the perfect trajectory to go right over the screen. 0-1. Slider. Dotted the back door, but didn't get the call. Count is even. The ball on a strike. Andrews to Royo. The 1-1. Line drive, left center field, sinking quickly, but right there is Rogers, the left fielder, to drift over and make the catch for the third out. Walnut Creek goes down 1-2-3 for the second straight inning. We'll head to the bottom of the first. No, we won't. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Walnut Creek leads it 1-0. A pitcher's duel so far has us tied at 1. No, nope, doesn't have us tied. As the Crawdads leading 1-0 here in the fourth. Got to lock it back in. It was a solid 3 innings, and now the last 10 words or so I've said I feel like have been wrong. So we're gonna draw it back in. Ornelas, Rogers, and Levitt McGee hitting here for Alameda. The first pitch to Ornelas is a slider off the outside, but Johnson's able to get the chase. 0-1. Cal Johnson has been really good. Just 3 base runners, 2 hits, and a walk. From the stretch against Ornelas, who flew out to Mark Wolbert in center his first time. Tapper to third, backing up to get it on the low hop is Calvillo. Slings it across the diamond. It's a little wide, but Kosciuszko is able to stretch to get it for out number 1. Out in center field, there is a whole flock of geese. And there's about, 15, 20 of them. Mark Wolbert is giving them their space. But there's a whole other slew out in right center. Now about 10 more fly in. Now more from center field. So there's a little more than just Angels in the outfield. There's a whole family out there. Here's Jack Rogers. First pitch, Rogers calls time. Johnson didn't see it. And now there's about, 25, 30 out there. So Mark Wolbert's got some friends out in center field. Rogers flew out to left in his first at-bat. Watches the first pitch slider, drop towards the knees. 0-1. For Johnson, not only are the results good, but that's just pitch number 36 on his evening. 0-1, swing and a miss on a slider down low, 0-2. Here in the fourth, that is economic. He has been very good. This is a guy that didn't enter the rotation until last week. No balls and 2 strikes. He's ahead in the count on Rogers. Part of the reason he's been so economic is because of the lack of strikeouts, but I don't think he really cares. Here's the 0-2. It is hammered left center field and deep. Liao going back, as is Wolbert. It's going to drop in front of Liao for a base hit. It drops in front of him, kind of plops to the ground as he fires into second. It's a strike towards second base, but it's a double for Jack Rogers.
Now
on
batting the center
easily the
fielder,
hardest
number
hit ball of the day
33,
for
Casey
Alameda.
Levitt McGee.
Rogers at second base was holding his hands up, requesting time for the first base umpire, Harvey Maxey, and Harvey just didn't see him. He was holding, and Maxey kind of looked past him, it almost looked like, and Rogers stood there holding, and the third baseman, Dylan Brewster, came over and said, time, time. So a one-out double for Jack Rogers. Here's Casey Levitt McGee, who singled in his first at-bat, just continues to hit everything he sees. Levitt McGee, left-handed hitter against Johnson, the righty. Johnson set just above the belt. The first pitch he throws is lined the other way, but that'll go well foul over towards the football field, 0-1. 1-0, Crawdads lead here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. At the third hit for Alameda, all have come by themselves, have come isolated. One was erased by a pickoff, one was erased by a double play. See what Johnson can do here with a runner on second. Rogers a pretty good size lead off second. 0-1, fastball misses up and away, 1-1. Johnson's got a pretty high leg kick. He is susceptible to allowing runners to steal, move up extra bases. Rogers is going to retreat to the second base bag. Look out towards center field. The ball and a strike to Levitt McGee. Johnson delivers. Fastball at the knees on the outside, 1-2. Levitt McGee didn't think so. As soon as the pitch was called the strike, he picked up his head, almost winced. The ball and 2 strikes. This is a spot Johnson loves to go to the changeup off the outside, especially towards left-handed hitters. See what he chooses to do here. The 1-2 is hit high towards center. Wolbert going back, plants in front of it. Tagging from second, Rogers. He's going to bluff as Wolbert makes the catch, throws into third. It was right on the third base bag, and a good job by Rogers to not tag for out number 2.
Now batting the first baseman, number 22, Rocco Borelli.
That'll bring up Rocco Borelli, the first baseman. Grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. Royo to Giorso to Kosciuszko back in his first at-bat. Here, a chance to tie the game. Runner on second, Rogers. Not a ton of speed on the bases, but with a 2-out jump and plus the already massive lead that Rogers is taking over second, a single to the outfield would absolutely score that run. Johnson trying to make it 4 scoreless frames. The first pitch to Borelli. Trio of looks back to second, now to the plate. Popped up, back over my head, 0-1. 1-0 Crawdads here in the fourth. Just a strikeout for Kyle Johnson, but also just 1 walk and 3 hits allowed. Again, for Walnut Creek, still looking for their first hit. Scored a run on a walk, a hit by pitch, a walk, and a ground out, which is not exactly winning baseball 9 times out of 10. Borelli steps out of the batter's box, readjusts. Johnson gets a second to breathe himself. No balls and a strike to Borelli. Playing first base today. We've seen him on the mound. We've seen him in the outfield as well. 0-1. Big curveball misses up high and tight. 1-1. The defense for the Crawdads straight up. Again, now there's almost 2 separate families of geese in center field. They were all herded in center field, and now they've split. One of the families out in deep right center. 1-1. Front door slider, tapped left side. Royo deep in the hole. Fields off his back foot. Throws across the diamond at first. It is not in time. Borelli beats it out on the back end. And a tough way for Alameda to get runners on the corners with still 2 outs.
Now batting the right fielder, number 44, Aiden Tackless.
Almost one of the best plays of the year from Ben Arroyo, who honestly, since he's come back from the wedding, from taking about a week off, has been really, really good on the defensive side of the ball, making acrobatic plays. Now runners on the corners with 2 outs for Aiden Tackless, the hottest hitter for Alameda. First pitch to him, misses off the outside, 1-0. And if you're thinking, well, lefty on righty, maybe you want to walk this guy. The guy on deck, Blake Jacobs, has been the second hottest hitter on Alameda's roster. 1-0. Line drive towards second, right at DJ Giorso, who lunges down to make the catch for out number 3. A pair of hits for Alameda, but they go scoreless for the 4th straight inning. We'll go to the 5th. Walnut Creek leads it 1-0. Still searching for their first hit on the other side. Alameda sends out its third
Now
pitcher
batting for
of the day to face the Crawdads
catcher
here
number
in the
37,
fifth. It's the
McEwen
righty
Beasley.
Trenton Wood. 0-1 his record, a
Batter of the
4.35
game.
ERA, 6 games, 10 in a third innings, 12 strikeouts, 6 walks, 14 hits. A lot of the damage came against the Crawdads. Gave up 7 runs, but only 1 was earned in an inning back on July 11th. Walked a batter, struck out a batter, and he'll be tasked with facing the 9-hitter and then the top of the Crawdads lineup with Walnut Creek leading 1-0. The final line for David Andrews, who was the bulk guy in relief, went 3 shutout innings, didn't give up a hit, walked 2, struck out 2. He continues to be a Crawdad killer. Now, 6 shutout innings with just 1 hit on the summer against the Crawdads. Nikhil Beasley 0 for 1 on the day, facing the righty Trenton Wood for his first at-bat. The first pitch to him is a slider that probably would have been called a strike if it had been caught by the catcher Zapata, but it went all the way to the backstop, 1-0. Beasley struck out in his first at-bat, fell behind 0-2, and then was able to work it back to 3-2 before striking out on a fastball. The first batter that Andrus faced. Wood, the righty, against Beasley, the righty, the 1-0, is swung on and waved at, missed, nothing, nope, 1-1. Fastball up high, got the chase. Wood from Modesto Junior College, again making his 7th appearance this summer. He's been pretty good. A ball and a strike. Herky-jerky delivery, the 1-1, is way outside, 2-1. Wood has really been only used as a 1 or 2 inning guy. He's got 1 outing of 4 innings that came against Menlo Park early in the year. Here he misses down and away, 3-1. But outside of that, it's been a lot of 1 inning, couple base runners, couple strikeouts. Been a little all over the place. Has struggled in his last 2 games. 3-1 to Beasley is way outside ball 4. See if the Crawdads can get something started here in the 5th. Again, still looking for their first hit.
Now batting the center fielder, number 33.
Really, it's been
Wahlberg.
kind of ugly at the plate. Not a lot of hard hit balls. Couple, a double play ball. The hardest hit ball was probably by Xavier Rios, which ended up being basically a routine fly out to right. Mark Wolbert has reached base twice, however, both times via the walk. First pitch to him with Beasley on first. He grounds it too short, up the middle, past the reach of Jeremiah into center field. The first hit for the Crawdads, and Mark Wolbert has reached base all 3 times. Always a good sign for your leadoff hitter. So Walnut Creek, who leads 1-0, looking to extend that here in the 5th with DJ Giorso at the dish. Giorso, Kosciuszko, Calvillo, the 3 in line, trying to make this, at the very least, a 2-0 game. The Crawdads got their first 2 runners of the inning on, as they did back in the first, this time by a walk and a hit. Back in the first, a walk and a hit by pitch. Giorso, 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch. First pitch, curveball, called a strike on the outside, 0-1. Giorso, not a ton of home run power, but we've seen him, again, he hits the ball hard every single time. Stands calm in the right-handed batter's box and now is asked to step out. Stankiewicz gives the catcher Zapata a little time. Giorso waves the bat forward, now comes straight. Beasley on second, Wolbert on first. No lead for either of them. No balls and a strike. Giorso hammers it center field and deep. Levitt McGee going back in front of the warning track. Now at the warning track, reaches back and makes the catch as he hits the center field wall for out number 1. Giorso gave it a ride. I think at Monte Vista that ball was way gone. Instead, it's just a loud out number 1. You'll take it. Similar to what the Crawdads had in the first in that situation, with this guy at the dish. Cole Kosciuszko flew out to left after the first 2 runners got on, moved the runners over, and then Cam Calvillo was able to drive one in. Here, Kosciuszko trying to be that guy, trying to drive it in, trying to extend his CCL lead in runs batted in. Sits with 38 right now. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Crawdads lead by 1. Trenton Wood nods his head twice. Now the first pitch. Runner goes from first. Pitch off the inside. Throw down to second. Not in time as Beasley's going to come home to score. Wolbert, though, is caught in between first and second. He'll be tagged out as he didn't slide into second base. He was really just trying to get in a rundown to let Beasley come home to score. So the Crawdads have patented that first and third steal of home. 2 outs in the inning, but the Crawdads lead it 2-0. A 1-0 count to Cole Kosciuszko. Caught stealing makes it the second out. All at 2 to 6 to 3 on the putout. 1-0. Kosciuszko gets hit in the back foot. He'll toss the bat over towards the dugout and reach first for the second time today. A walk and a hit by pitch to go with that aforementioned flyout. The Crawdads have a 2-0 lead.
Now batting the third baseman,
Looking to make it more.
3,
Single
Calvillo.
runs here in the fifth and also one in the first. Calvillo at the dish, 0 for 2. Drove in the Crawdads' first run of the game back in the first inning. Toes the front of the right-handed batter's box. Now Wood is ready. A run home for the Crawdads with Kosciuszko. A small lead off first. We've seen him go at times this summer. First pitch to Calvillo misses up and in with a fastball 1-0. There was a time where Cole Kosciuszko led the entire CCL in stolen bases. He had 7 in the first 2 weeks or so of CCL play. He's only got 1 since. A ball and no strikes from Wood. Calvillo bends back from a fastball off the inside, 2-0. 2-0 Crawdads, top of the 5th inning. Just an out from reaching the halfway point in this one. Very different game from the last time these two teams played when the Crawdads were down 6-0 in that one. 2-0 to Kosciuszko, or to Calvillo. This is, no, called a strike. At the top of the zone, 2-1. Calvillo even turned back and said, is that the top, Lou? And he said yes. That ball was well above the letters off the outside as well. So 2 balls and a strike to the Crawdads' third baseman. Wood lobs it over to first. Back in safely is Kosciuszko. The defense straight up for Alameda. The second baseman, Ornelas, playing slightly towards the bag. He'd likely be the one to cover on a stolen base attempt by Kosciuszko. 2 ball, 1 strike pitch to Calvillo. He waits. Wood ready, and the delivery. Curveball, lunged at, popped right side. Talkless, the right fielder, drifting towards his right. Makes the catch for out number 3. The Crawdads get their first hit of the game and are able to score because of it. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th with Walnut Creek leading 2-0. Kel Johnson's through 4. Why not make it 5? With the Crawdads leading 2-0 in the bottom third of Alameda's lineup. To face the righty, Cal Johnson, who has been really, really good. 4 hits, a strikeout, a walk, no runs through his 4 innings of work. And he'll face Jacobs, Jeremiah, and Bolden. Jacobs, the right-handed hitter, has been really good of late. Now 4 for his last 8, but 2 of those hits home runs as a first pitch bender drops in at the letters. Jacobs, can't tell if he was upset that he took it or that it was called the strike. But either way, it was kind of right down the middle for strike 1. 0-1. Curveball. Lined right center field. Wolbert sprinting over in the alleyway. Reaches back towards his backhand slide. Goes into a slide to to make the catch for out number 1. A nice play by Mark Wolbert. Probably added a little more at the end than he needed to, but you know what? It looked cool, and he'll take it, especially with no geese out there. That is all his land out in right center field. And this is a different outfield lineup for the Crawdads than what we've seen. We're used to seeing one of Aiden Camberg or Ethan Liao in left field with Casey Cummings in center and Mark Wolbert in right, and those two in center and right, Wolbert and Cummings, have covered a lot of ground all year. So here's Jace Jeremiah, the shortstop. He watches the first pitch slider, miss inside, 1-0. But with all respect to Camberg and Liao, neither of them are the rangy outfielder that Casey Cummings are. They'll make the plays, they'll make the throws, and they've been really good, especially as the summer has gone on, as a slider catches the outside 1-1. But, I mean, that's more of a say about how good Casey Cummings is than anything. And so there's a lot of ground out there, especially in left and right center field for Mark Wolbert to cover. So far today, he's done a really, really good job. Jeremiah has yet to record an official at bat. Here he'll get his first as he grounds one up the middle for a base knock, and he's 1 for 1. In his first at bat, he had a sac bunt back to the pitcher. Here officially starts his day with a single in the 5th hit of the day for Alameda. So far, Cal Johnson has been really good and really efficient. That just his 52nd pitch here in the 5th inning. So he could go at this rate 2 or 3 more innings. And I mean, we're in the 5th. If he could give Brant Cummings 6 or 7 innings today, he would be very happy. Jordan Bolden, first pitch, quick pitch. Fastball misses up and in, 1-0. 2-0 Walnut Creek here in the 5th. Johnson's been able to erase a pair of base runners. Here another pickoff move, the way he erased his first, but back in safely without a tag is Jeremiah. Bolden, the DH today for the Merchants, is officially 0 for 1. Flew out to Mark Wolbert out in center in his first at bat. Waits for the 1-0 and grounds it. Left side, Royo deep in the hole. Can't make a play as the ball squirts past him and into left field. Back-to-back base hits for Alameda.
Coming back to the top of the order. Now batting, the catcher, number 14, Frank Zapata.
That'll flip the lineup card to Frank Zapata, the catcher, who is 1 for 2. Had a single back in his first at bat. Chopped one over towards Cam Calvillo, but was able to beat it out. And, I mean, that's just true speed from a catcher. Leadoff hitting catcher with speed. Those don't just grow on trees. He's been good again today. Struck out in his second at bat. A really nice curveball by Cal Johnson. That represents his only strikeout of the day. Runners on first and second now with 1 out. The tying run on first base. Zapata watches a first pitch curveball. Called the ball a little low and off the inside. 1-0. The first adversity that Cal Johnson has really had today. Back in the 4th. Gave out a 1-out double, but then was able to get Casey Levitt McGee to fly out to center field. So with 2 outs, he was feeling a little more confident. The 1-0 is off the outside to Zapata. 2-0. And now Zapata will definitely have the green light as arguably the best hitter on this Merchants team, leading the team off, hitting well over 300 now. Closed off stance from the right side. Rests the bat on the right shoulder. Now waits the 2-0. Front door curveball, missed off the inside, 3-0. We'll see. Now he's likely red light in the 3-0 count. Jacob Ornelas waiting on deck. We'll see if Johnson decides to give him anything to bite at or if he just tries to load the bases and coax a double play ball. 3-0, right down the middle. About as middle as you can get with a fastball. And the count is 3-1. 2-0 Walnut Creek here in the 5th. Johnson trying to make it 5 scoreless. 3-1. Line drive left field. Going back, Liao will circle up, make the catch for a loud out number 2. Zapata struck it well. Maybe the hardest hit ball of the day for Alameda. But sometimes baseball is going to baseball. 2 dribblers that get through the infield, and then the hardest hit ball of the 3 results in out number 2. Here's Jacob Ornelas, who's 0 for 2. And Johnson, I mean, this has been impressive. There's really nothing else you can say. He's been really, really good, commanding the strike zone. The pitch count is low, yes, but also 38 strikes, 21 balls. That is the most impressive part of it all. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Ornelas pops the first pitch up over the press box, 0-1. Pair of 1-out singles by Jace Jeremiah and Jordan Bolden have put runners on first and second for Alameda. That their 5th and 6th hits, compared to just 1 for the Crawdads. No balls and a strike to Ornelas. Slider misses off the inside and low, 1-1. We saw Ornelas back in his first at bat back in the first inning, fall behind 0-2 and pretty heavily choke up. He's about as traditional as a player as you'll get. He chokes up with 2 strikes, not afraid to kind of have an ugly swing with 2 strikes and put the ball in play. And we'll see what he goes to here as he fouls the 1-1 back over the screen. A ball and 2 strikes. Steps out, readjusts the batting gloves, and already you can see about 3 inches of choke on the barrel of the bat. Closed off stance from the right side. Always playing to hit the ball the other way. Johnson ready, the 1-2. Curveball line to short on 1 hop. Royo backs up to get it, tosses to second. Giorso covers the bag, and that will end the inning. 5 scoreless for Cal Johnson. We'll head to the 6th with the Crawdads leading 2-0. Aiden Camberg leads off the top of the 6th inning. Walnut Creek leads 2-0. It's been a pitcher's duel, and it's been a lot of fun. Camberg, Liao, and Rios against the righty Trenton Wood. The first pitch to Camberg is popped up left side over past us. No balls and a strike to Aiden Camberg. Walnut Creek leads by 2, but it's just 1 hit so far. Uncharacteristic, but I should say uncharacteristic for a majority of the season, but every now and then the Crawdads offense will just go into a lull. Here, Camberg pops one up right side, just past the infield. The second baseman, Ornelis, into the outfield grass, makes the catch for out number 1, and I think Aiden Camberg might have just missed that one. Just got under the barrel.
Coming up to bat, the left fielder, number 11, Ethan Liao.
So Camberg is 0 for 2. That'll bring up Ethan Liao. Liao 0 for 1, struck out looking in his last at-bat. Woods' first pitch to him is a curveball that spins him back 1-0. Crawdads got their only hit of the game back in the last inning. Mark Wolbert his single up the middle. The infield playing pretty deep for Liao, who lines this one into left field. That's going to be a base hit as it drops towards the corner. Over to cut it off is Rogers. Liao takes a wide turnaround first. Rogers up and throwing to second base. The tag there is not in time as Liao hooks his right hand around it. It's a 1-out double for Ethan Liao, and the Crawdads have their second hit and are in business here in the 6th. Really nice swing by Ethan Liao, who, after he was unhappy in his first 2 at-bats, a walk and a strikeout, neither of which felt like his best. Able to hook one into left field for a knock. That'll bring up Xavier Rios, who had at one point the hardest hit ball of the day for the Crawdads, a ball into right field that was caught by the right fielder Talkless. But he's shown he's able to swing it with some power. It's really changed a lot of what he does. Holds his hands a little further back past home plate now. First pitch, curveball, spins to the inside corner. A generously called strike, 0-1. 2-0 Walnut Creek here in the 6th. Liao expands one of the two, not both, his lead off of second. Now the 0-1 to Rios is going to be a spin back by Wood, but back in safely is Liao. Just the second hit of the day for the Crawdads, an offense which has been really good at its best and has not been at its worst. Pitch misses high. Our entire broadcast equipment almost just died, so if I don't call for a second, excuse me. A ball and a strike to Xavier Rios. We're back. Liao, a pretty good sized lead off second. Now the pitch, Rios pops it up back behind home plate. That'll go well foul. 1-2. Rios, who's been on a tear, really all started with a 2-triple game at Menlo Park's home field. Since then, he's hit a pair of home runs, hit a handful of doubles, and he's extended the Crawdads lineup. You see today he's at the DH spot, and that was something that almost seemed unfathomable at the start of the year with any of the Crawdads catchers. Now you could say all three of them have shown the ability to extend a lineup. The 1-2 is called strike 3 at the knees on the outside. Wood frozen with a fastball for his first strikeout.
Now batting the shortstop, number 14.
That's the pitch that's been there
Arroyo.
for Mike Stankiewicz today. The ball down and away on the outside at the knees, and the Crawdads have been unable to cover that outer edge. Here's Ben Arroyo. Arroyo 0 for 2, but has had pretty solid at-bats. Sliced the ball the other way in his first at-bat, and then hit a ball relatively hard to left field back in the third. Hits with a runner in scoring position after Liao's double. First pitch, curveball swing, and a miss was way out in front of it. Couldn't hold the hands back, 0-1. Arroyo now just 1 for 9 this year against Alameda pitching. There's been some teams where he's had a lot of success against. This has not been one of them. Alameda's gotten the best of him in just about every one of their matchups. 0-1. Arroyo takes right on that same spot that Rios got rung up on, a fastball at the knees. And Arroyo not happy with the call, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the 6th. Arroyo waves the bat forward. 2 big circles before waving it forward under his belt. Now coming set, as does Wood, the pitcher. A high set before bringing it to the belt. And he steps off and will reset. No balls and 2 strikes. Arroyo taps both edges of the plate. Now readies. Liao about an 8-step lead off second. Extends it to about 10. See if he goes on the 0-2. Wood looks back that way. Now the 0-2 is down and away with the slider, 1-2. Crawdads scored single runs back in the 1st and in the 5th. Neither of them on traditional big Crawdads power swings. Both of them on some small ball. One on a double steal, one on an RBI groundout. The 1-2 to Arroyo. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Curveball off the outside. Back-to-back strikeouts for Trenton Wood. The Crawdads are unable to score after a 1-out Ethan Liao double. Led to the bottom of the 6th, 2-0 Walnut Creek. Bottom of the 6th, Cal Johnson still on the bump, and why not? He's been efficient, he's been good, he's kept guys off base. He's been about everything you could have asked for out of your starting pitcher, and he'll face the middle of the lineup. Jack Rogers to lead it off as he swings over the top of a first pitch bender that missed off the outside, but he got the chase, 0-1. Rogers is 1 for 2 on the day, flew out to left field and then hammered a double into the left center field gap. What we've learned about the College of Alameda is that the outfield plays pretty deep, and a ball to the outfield is going to die as soon as it hits the grass. Here Rogers takes a fastball at the knees, 0-2. 66 pitches for Cal Johnson. This will be pitch number 66. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. You're in the 6th. The 0-2 is tapped towards third. That'll get foul over past the Alameda third base coach, and the count will stay at 0-2. We'll see how long Cal Johnson's leash is today. You know, he threw 5 innings last week and was at about the 80 to 85 pitch mark. I would not be surprised if he goes 6-7 innings in this one. The 0-2 is waved at somehow. Rogers able to get a piece and foul it back. Maybe a bad sign for Cal Johnson. Owen Firestone goes and sits in the bullpen with his catcher's gear on. So I don't know if anyone's going to start getting loose soon, or if O5 just needs a minute to maybe decompress before catching bullpens, but we will see. 0-2 from Johnson. He is lined towards the left side. That will get fair down the left field line as it rolls all the way into the corner. Rogers looking too. He's going to have his second double of the day at least, and that's where he will hold up. It's a leadoff double here in the 6th for Jack Rogers. That is his 4th this season against the Crawdads.
Now batting the center fielder, number 33.
You feel bad for Cal Johnson because he made 2 really, really nice 2-strike pitches that Rogers was just able to foul off, but that's what good hitters do. And then just stays out in front enough against a slider and pulls it into left field for another double. Here's Casey Levitt McGee, who's 1 for 2. Seventh hit of the day for Alameda. Levitt McGee swings the bat forward, now holds it above his back shoulder. First pitch from Johnson. Right over the crowd mic, 0-1. Levitt McGee wearing the green helmet with the yellow bat and the teal and yellow jersey. It works better than I think people would expect it to. 0-1. Lined left center field, slicing quickly. Liao over, dives, and he makes the catch. The throw back to second's going to double up Rogers. A double play erases the base runner. That's the play of the year from Ethan Liao.
Now batting the first baseman, number 22, Rocco Borelli.
Ethan Liao had to go a long way. The ball was slicing, the ball was going down quick, and he came out of nowhere to make that play. That was unbelievable. And Jack Rogers, I still think he doesn't know that he's out. He's walking towards home plate. He looks confused. That was unbelievable from Ethan Liao. Here's Rocco Borelli. First pitch, Borelli watches a curveball. Oh, where'd that miss? Ball 1. Borelli, 1 for 2, a double play and a single. Looks like Nick Bronzini is starting to throw a little bit in the Crawdads bullpen. I want more Cal Johnson. 1-0, slider at the knees on the inside, 1-1. 2-0 Walnut Creek here in the 6th. Really what might have been a game-saving play for Ethan Liao and left. 1-1. Slider, check swing. Yes, he did, says the home plate umpire. 1-2. That one might have been a makeup call for the first pitch. That was not a swing. Johnson will take it. Borelli is not nearly as happy. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Johnson trying to make it 6 scoreless and go the deepest he's gone this summer. He started at UPS this spring, so we know he's got it in him. The 1-2. Curveball popped up right side. Kosciuszko drifting back behind first. Looks like he's got a play. He does. 6 shutout innings for Cal Johnson. What a start from the Crawdads righty. We'll head to the 7th. Walnut Creek 2, Alameda 0.
Of the game,
A new
number
pitcher
37,
for
Nikhil
Alameda here in the 7th.
Beasley.
It's Tobin Cantrell, the lefty from Chabot, the former high school teammate of Nico DeFazio. And he's been good. 1-0 his record, 4.72 ERA, 19 strikeouts in 13 and a third innings, 8 walks, 9 hits. He will face 9-1-2, Beasley, Wolbert, and Giorso in the Crawdads lineup. Walnut Creek leads 2-0. Cantrell, the lefty, the first pitch he throws is a fastball that zooms up high at 1-0. The final line for Trenton Wood: 2 innings, 2 hits, a run, a walk, 2 strikeouts. 1-0. Beasley darts away from a fastball off the inside, 2-0. Cantrell, what we've learned is good stuff. Doesn't always know exactly where it's going, but man, when he's on, it's really good. He was pretty good in a couple years at Chabot. Has been used mostly as a 1 to 2 inning guy. Hasn't seen anything more than 2 2/3. 2-0. Beasley waves and misses at a fastball off the outside, 2-1. Kyle Johnson threw 6 innings on the other end. He has been so good. 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Fastball on the inside, 2-2. Crawdads and Merchants. A 2-2 count against Nikhil Beasley. Now the shadow's really coming into effect. Cantrell, as soon as he lets go of the ball gets right back into the sun, then shadow sun right as it crosses home plate. The 2-2 is right down the middle, strike 3. Hot food's half off. First batter, first strikeout for Cantrell. Got to bring up Mark Wolbert, who has reached base all 3 times. A single and a pair of walks. Left-handed hitter waves the bat forward a couple times, now swings it up. First pitch from the lefty, Cantrell. Wolbert takes a fastball off the outer black, 1-0. He's set the table all 3 times he's come up, has come home to score once, that back in the first inning, where the Crawdads did half of their damage to this point. 1-0, fastball, same spot, called ball 2. Looks like Nick Bronzini is not really warming up in the Crawdads bullpen, kind of just lightly stretching, tossing a ball in and out of his glove. So we can expect more Cal Johnson. 2-0. Tapper left side slowly, charging Jeremiah. Glows to a backhanded glove. It throws across the diamond to first, not in time. Wolbert around first. The ball gets past Borelli. He's into second. The throw from Borelli is not in time. A single and an error, and Mark Wolbert's speed makes things happen again. He's reached base all 4 times, and he's in scoring position here in the 7th.
All hot foods are half off for the rest of this half inning.
Got to bring up DJ Giorso, the second baseman. He's got a chance to do something big here. He's 0 for 2. Hit a ball well back in the 5th. Took a ball to the track. And the Crawdads need to extend. You feel good about a lead. You don't feel great about it only being 2. You feel a lot better if it was 3 or more. First pitch, Giorso grounds it up the middle, skips off the pitcher's mound into center field, a base hit. Wolbert getting the wave, Levitt McGee up and throwing. The throw is cut off by the first baseman, Borelli. DJ Giorso comes through, and it's 3-0 Crawdads. Just a good-looking swing from Giorso. Skipped off the pitcher's rubber, went all the way into center field. And look, the hits have not come. The swings have looked good every single time from Giorso. At his first RBI as a Crawdad, makes it 3-0. Here's Cole Kosciuszko, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and a hit by pitch. Lefty on lefty. First pitch, fastball, skips in off the pitch, off the mask of the umpire. Giorso around second, had a chance for 3, but he didn't see it in time. A wild pitch moves Giorso up to second. All of a sudden, it looks like the wheels kind of coming off for Alameda. Jeremiah's throwing error plus the single plus the wild pitch, and Frank Zapata's going to head out to the mound to talk to his pitcher, which means it's time for a look around the CCL. We've got some okay news. A couple of games going on that we really care about. Menlo Park and San Luis Obispo. It's a close one there. Slow leads at 2-1, but Menlo threatening in the 6th. And Hey, Crawdads fans, you want Menlo Park to win that game. Sonoma and San Francisco on the bottom of the 6th in San Bruno. Sonoma only leads 1-0, so both of those games still could go the Crawdads' way here tonight, and we'll keep you updated as the night goes on. Kosciuszko in a 1-0 count with a runner on second. Good speed at second with Giorso. Just one out, and the Crawdads now leading by 3. Contrill comes set. From above the letters, delivers to the plate, a fastball that cuts to the outside edge, 1-1. Kosciuszko 5 for 20, so the average hasn't been there really against the Merchants, but 4 of those hits doubles. The power is still there. Of course, getting on base as he always does. 1-1. Fastball, a little low, a little away, 2-1. Contrill, high set. Hitters count, 2-1. Kosciuszko flies it left side. Rogers, though, is right there. Reaches down to make the catch as he almost shaded his body from the sun. And no tag at second from Giorso, out number 2. Kosciuszko, 0 for 2. Gotta bring up Calvillo, who's uncharacteristically 0 for 3. Currently on a 5-game hit streak, but in his last game, had his first 2 strikeouts since July 12th. Only 5 on the summer. And it was just a weird day for him the other day against Sonoma. Has a pretty favorable matchup here against a lefty. First pitch, lined it straight back. Got a good cut at a middle fastball. Just was unable to do anything with it. Giorso the runner on second. Calvillo at the dish. 3-0 Crawdads lead. I would love to add on. No balls and a strike. Pitch to Calvillo. Line straight back again, 0-2. Contrill trying to use the shadows to his advantage. He's a lefty who throws from a high release point. And got a little funk. Big, tall lefty. Giorso, big lead off second. No balls and 2 strikes. Pitch to Calvillo. Skied right side. That'll go well foul. Borelli gave it a look, but it is not close to playable. We'll do it again. Crawdads have only 4 hits on the day. If scoreboard says 3, that is not correct, as both Giorso and Wolbert had hits this inning. No balls and 2 strikes from Contrill to Calvillo. The 0-2. Up and away with a fastball, ball 1. On the creek line, looking to put up a crooked number for the first time today. Single runs in the 1st, 5th, and 7th. Contrill, the high set. Now the 1-2. Calvillo pops it up right side. Borelli gives it a look, but it'll go foul again to the exact same spot. And we'll reset with a 1-2 count once more. Nikhil Beasley struck out to start the inning. Mark Wolbert singled and then moved up to second on an error. DJ Giorso singled him home. Moved to second on a wild pitch, and that's where he stands after the Cole Kosciuszko flyout. A ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Calvillo pops it up right side. Same spot again. And we'll reset it again, a 1-2 count against Contrill. I mean, Cam Calvillo is feeding families with those fly balls the other way. A ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the inning. Contrill tucks the ball behind his back. Now the lefty comes set. Giorso's got a big lead off second. The 1-2. Calvillo, guess where he hit that one? 1-2. No action in the Crawdads bullpen. There's some stirring in Alameda's. Crawdads looking to extend their 4-game lead over second place San Luis Obispo. Magic number 4 coming into today. Good news for the Crawdads. Menlo Park just tied it up down in Sinsheimer. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another 1-2 to Calvillo. He swings and misses. A slider down low. 3 strikeouts in the last 2 games after 3 strikeouts for the entire season. To that point for Cam Calvillo. Crawdads, though, are able to tack on a run. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Cal Johnson back out for more when we come back.
Aiden Tuckless.
Still Cal Johnson here in the 7th. Talkless, Jacobs, Jeremiah are the 3 he'll be facing. Nick Bronzini now starting to throw a little bit in the bullpen, but again, Cal Johnson has been so good today. 7 hits scattered through his 6th inning of work. Talkless 0 for 2. After coming into today as the hottest hitter in the lineup. He swings through a first pitch fastball, nothing in 1. As the game has gone deeper for Cal Johnson, we've started to see less and less of that fastball early on in counts. We've started to see him try to get ahead with curveballs, sliders, changeups, but hey, you love it. No balls and a strike to Talkless. Change up. Called a little away. 1-1. 3-0 Walnut Creek here in the 7th. Righty Johnson, lefty Talkless. The 1-1 delivery. Line drive left side sinking quickly. That's going to get down in front of Liao for a leadoff base knock. 8th hit of the day for Alameda. If I'm being honest, I don't really care. Singles don't hurt. Especially when Johnson's been able to get the ball on the ground and get a couple double play balls, get a pick off. He has been so good. Here's Blake Jacobs. 0 for 1, a walk and a flyout. Talkless gets his lead off first. First pitch. Slider. Misses just a bit outside, 1-0. Some adversity early on. Tough spot for Johnson to work out of, but he's erased a pair of leadoff base runners today. 1-0, slider, bends to the knees, 1-1. Three to nothing Walnut Creek, a 4-game lead over second place Slow, a 5-game lead over third place Sonoma. 1-1. Jacob swings and misses. A changeup down and in, 1-2. Good signs in both of the games the Crawdads needed good signs from. In San Bruno, San Francisco has tied that game up at 1 apiece with the bases loaded and just 1 out. Still threatening for more. And actually now they just took the lead. 1-2 to Jacobs. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got the curveball, got the chase down low. Second strikeout for Cal Johnson. So down in, I guess, up east, wherever you are in, no, west in SF, San Francisco has taken a lead. 2-1 the score in that one. And then Menlo Park has also taken a 3-2 lead, but slow threatening in the bottom half of the 6th. Looks like they're going to send in a pinch runner for Aiden Toklas.
Coming into pinch run, number 25, Shane Aldridge.
Shane Aldridge is going to pinch run at first base. Feel bad for Aiden Toklas. Gets on base and immediately gets ran for. But we've seen Dustin Cheney loves pushing the buttons. So Aldridge in to run at first. Here's Jace Jeremiah, the shortstop. First pitch, runner goes, pitch up and in. Beasley fires down to second. The tag is there. A perfect strike from Nikhil Beasley behind the plate, erases the leadoff base runner, and now Cal Johnson just 1 out away from 7 scoreless. And you could almost hear Carson Yassa from the dugout. You're him, Nikhil. That has been booming through the Crawdads dugout as the season has gone on. The 0-1 to the plate, skips in, a ball and a strike. I mean, that was about as perfect a throw as you could make towards second base from Nikhil Beasley, who the arm plays, the arm is there. A ball and a strike now to Jeremiah. The 1-1. Jeremiah takes the fastball just a little high, 2-1. That pitch number 83 for Johnson. The pitch count starting to climb a little bit. Bronzini just about ready in the bullpen. 2-1. Fastball lined, left center field, but Wolbert is right there. 7 shutout innings for Cal Johnson. Crawdads needed it on the table. We'll head to the 8th. 3-0 Crawdads. Top half of the 8th inning, Tobin Cantrill back out for his second inning of work, facing 5, 6, 7 in the Dads lineup, starting with Aiden Camberg. A defensive change, Shane Aldridge, who we've seen on the bump, is in center field now. Casey Levitt McGee, wearing number 33, out in right. First pitch to Camberg, the lefty, is a bender. That is called the strike at the top of the zone, 0-1. I want more Cal Johnson, but it looks like his day might be done. He's walking back towards the bullpen. 7 shutout for Cal. 0-1. Popped up left side off the fist into the dugout of the Merchants. 0-2. 3-0 Walnut Creek. No balls and 2 strikes to Camberg. Here's the pitch. Popped up over by us. We'll do it again. No balls and 2 strikes. Camberg uncharacteristically 0 for 2. Very characteristically took a walk. Hit a ball hard back in the 3rd. Unfortunately, it was right at the shortstop. And then just got under a ball back in the 8th. Or in the 6th. The 0-2 here. Misses up and away with the fastball, 1-2. He's a he's a little Brandon Belt-ish in just he knows the strike zone better, sometimes really better than the home plate umpire. Like he knows his zone, he controls his zone. 1-2 is up high, 2-2. Look, I mean, I grew up here. This is my area, right? He's Brandon Belt, he's Lamont Wade, and he takes a stupid amount of walks and has a lot of fun with it. It's awesome when you see a college kid that loves to walk as much as this guy does. The 2-2. Wake up. We'll do it again. Two balls and two strikes to Aiden Camberg, still looking for his first knock of the day. And the Crawdads, as a team, just 4. The 2-2. Big curveball. Wow, called strike 3 at the top of the zone. Camberg didn't think so. Neither did I. That was a bad call.
Now batting the left fielder, number 11, Ethan Liao.
I'll bring up Ethan Liao. That was a maybe even worse than that call. Is they're saying Mark Wolbert, his single back in the 7th was an error. Okay, here's Ethan Liao, who doubled back in his last at bat. First pitch, he takes a fastball in by his shoe tops, 1-0. 3-0 Walnut Creek here in the 8th. Liao, the hitter against Contrill, the lefty. From the stretch, 1-0. Foul straight back, 1-1. Walnut Creek and Alameda for the final time this year. It's been a matchup that's been pretty back and forth, especially surprising, I should say, especially because of how good the Crawdads looked early on. As Liao fouls this one into the parking lot. See which car it hits. It missed Kia by about 10 feet. We'll do it again, 1-2. Might not have been a Kia. Whatever that is right there. Is that a... Really? Shout out Dylan Allen. We love you, DA. Contrill ready with the 1-2 against Liao. Lefty Contrill, righty Liao. The pitch is a curveball that bends in towards the strike zone. Back-to-back strikeouts. Frozen on the curveball. 4 strikeouts on the evening for Tobin Contrill. Taking a look at some of the other games going on that we're caring about. Slow and Menlo Park tied at 3 in the 7th. That's been a good one. And San Francisco leads Sonoma by 1. So the Crawdads, again, could really help their magic number in this one. Here's Xavier Rios, who's 0 for 3, and with how good he's been swinging it, that's a surprise. First pitch fastball, dots the outside corner at the letters, 0-1. If the Crawdads were to hold on and win this one, their magic number would be 3 to clinch the division and 2 to clinch a playoff spot. But again, if both Slow and Sonoma were to lose, both of those numbers would drop by 1. Rios swings over the top of a curveball, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to the Crawdads DH, who's already struck out a pair of times today. 0-2. Up high with a fastball. And just a setup pitch. He's got the curveball that he can go to. We've seen it freeze 2 batters already this inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Contrill the high set. Now the 1-2 delivery. Curveball. Little outside. 2-2. Everyone and their mom started walking off the field. Carson was ready to go get his burger. It looked good from here. Looked better than the one to Aiden. Instead, we'll do the 2-2 again. Here it comes. Fastball swung on and missed. Camberg, Liao, Rios all down by way of the K. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. 3-0 Crawdads lead. A new pitcher for the Crawdads here in the bottom of the 8th. It's Nick Bronzini, and that officially ends Cal Johnson's day. But he was unbelievable. 7 shutout innings, the second Crawdad to reach that plateau this year. And the new pitcher is a guy that's been pretty unbelievable, and your newest Husky, Nick Bronzini. The first pitch he throws is a fastball on the outside called strike 1. So we'll talk about Cal Johnson, we'll talk about Nick Bronzini, but before that, the first batter he faces is the designated hitter, Jordan Bolden. Bolden 1 for 2, a single and a flyout. Behind in the count 0-1, takes a pitch off the outside, 1-1. So the final line for Cal Johnson. 7 innings, 8 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, no runs. He was unbelievable. A ball and a strike to Bolden. Here's the pitch. Fastball at the knees, 1-2. 7 innings, 8 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. That's in the upper echelon of Crawdad starts this year. I think that's right up there with Jackson Bird's 6 shutout innings, with Carson Yass's 7 shutout innings. But that was really, really, really good from Cal Johnson. The 1-2 from Bronzini to Bolden is a slider that misses just a little up, a little away as well. 2-2. And I mentioned Bronzini, your newest Husky, your newest Washington baseball player, University of Washington. And I'm conflicted. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know how I feel. The 2-2 is a slider, down and in, 3-2. I'm a Duck. I love my Ducks. I hate my Huskies. I'm one of the leaders of the Dubs Down movement. But I love Nick Bronzini, so we'll see. The 3-2 is up high, ball 4. Bronzini on the summer's been great, though. 0-1, a sub-3 ERA in 7 games, 2 of them starts. 33 strikeouts to just 12 walks in 18 and a third innings. The strikeout stuff has been unreal from Nick Bronzini. As he walks the first guy he faces, here is Frank Zapata. Zapata 1 for 3, a single, a flyout, and a strikeout. Again, has put together some really nice at-bats. First pitch to the catcher for Alameda. Fastball, low off the outside, 1-0. Bronzini does every now and then have a tendency to struggle as soon as he comes in finding the strike zone. But when he gets locked in, he's been pretty terrific. A ball and no strikes, the pitch to Zapata. Fastball on the inside at the letters, 1-1. But in all seriousness, huge congrats to Nick. Huge congrats to his family. He has very quickly become one of my favorite Crawdads of all time for his, the personality, the way he strikes literally everyone he faces out. He's been awesome to watch. 1-1, a fastball past him, 1-2, and selfishly, I get to see him for at least one more year in the Big Ten. So very excited for Nick and for his future, and for his wrestling career after, of course, because he's the best. A ball and 2 strikes to Zapata, the catcher. Pitch from Bronzini. Curveball muscled back towards the screen. And a nice job by Zapata just to get a piece of it. We'll do it again. Three to nothing, Walnut Creek. Here in the 8th, Crawdads looking to secure their second shutout in the last week of play. Pitching has been terrific of late. The 1-2. Slider off the outside, 2-2. I shouldn't have to convince you that you care about those other games in play, but things are looking all right for the Crawdads right now. They need to hold on to this one, of course, first and foremost. 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. A fastball and a sword on a pitch off the outside. First strikeout for Nick Bronzini. That was butter.
Now batting the second baseman.
That'll bring up Jacob
11,
Ornelas.
Ornelas.
Second baseman, who is 0 for 3. Fielder's choice, a ground out and a flyout. Bronzini would love a double play ball. The Crawdads have given up the base runners today, but they've also they've deleted every base runner that's gotten on base. The first pitch to Ornelas is skied right side. That'll get foul over into the parking lot. That might hit a car. That was close to hitting a car. So in the other games going on right now, Slow and Menlo Park again. This is the big one. Menlo Park and Slow are tied in the 6th, but the Legends threatening with 2 on and just 1 out in the 7th. Here the 0-1 to Arnellis. Fastball slips over his hand, 1-1. Then in San Francisco, it's 2-1 San Francisco. Hawk Hill, the all-star, coming in to face the middle of the lineup. Ryan Lordier is 2 for 4 and is hitting with the bases loaded and just 1 out. Both of those things bode well for the Crawdads. A ball and a strike to Ornelas, the second baseman, with a closed-off stance. Runner on first, Bolden. Good speed that way. Bronzini's 1-1. Fastball at the knees on the inside, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the 8th. Bronzini ready. 1-2 delivery. Fastball down and in, 2-2. Walnut Creek leads by 3, trying to hang on to that one. A 2-2 count to Ornelas. Bronzini struggled to find the strike zone. 8 balls, 7 strikes. 8 balls, 8 strikes, actually. The 2-2 to Ornelas. Fastball, flied right side. Going back into his right is the new right fielder, Mark Wolbert. Spins, makes the catch. He'll throw back to first. They've got a chance to double him up. Kosciuszko dives, and he does not stick the foot on the bag. As, hey, there's your announcement. There's a new right fielder and center fielder. It's Mark Wolbert now in right with Casey Cummings out in center. And Ornelas flies out to Wolbert to make the play for out number 2.
Left fielder, number 34, Jack Rogers.
That'll bring up Jack Rogers, who, again, has killed the Crawdads, as he does every single time. 2 more doubles today, make it 4 against Walnut Creek on the season, and a double here would likely score a run. Rogers 2 for 3 with those doubles. Runner on first is Bolden. First pitch. Slider off the inside, a half swing sword, and Rogers steps out and looks up. He's asking someone for help on that one. 0-1. That is one of the better pitches we've seen all year. No ball's a strike to Rogers. Bronzini with a runner on first. Kicks, delivers. Slider off the inside. Got the swing and the miss again. The ball, though, gets past Beasley, and Bolden will move up to second on the pass ball. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the 8th. Bronzini, the newest Husky, making his way in towards Crawdad legend territory. No balls and 2 strikes. Runner on second is Bolden. Good speed with Rogers at the plate. Now a ball to the outfield would almost definitely score the run. Bronzini sets above the belt. The 0-2. Fastball in towards the shoe tops, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Pitch to the plate. Fastball a little low, 2-2. Crawdads lead by 3, the tying run in the on-deck circle, but right now Bronzini just focused on Rogers at the plate. Two balls and 2 strikes. The pitch to Rogers. In towards the shoe tops again, and Rogers has worked it from 0-2 to 3-2. Bronzini, Rogers ready. Bronzini back onto the slab with his new red kicks. Rogers adjusts the maroon helmet. Bronzini set. 3-2. On its way to the plate. A long hold now to the plate. The 3-2. Tapper left side over by the Merchants dugout. We'll do it again. Nothing Crawdads here in the 8th. Just 4 hits for Walnut Creek. But they've taken advantage of their runners in scoring position. Been good on the bases. The 3-2 one more time. is popped up. That'll get behind the plate foul. Three balls, two strikes again. Here's the pitch from Bronzini. It is somehow fouled off. A slider off the inside. And Rogers able to get a piece. Another good at bat. Three balls, two strikes, two outs. Bronzini waiting, ready against Rogers. The full count pitch is swung on and missed. Strike three. Delete me fastball. Blew it past him at the top of the zone. Bronzini wins the battle, and the Crawdads are through 8 scoreless here in Alameda. We'll go to the 9th. One more to try to cut the magic number to 3 when we come back. Nico DeFazio will lead off for the Crawdads, pinch hitting for Ben Royo, so his day is over after an 0 for 3. Nico DeFazio pinch hits in the 8th. It's a new pitcher for Alameda. Not sure who it is because the number 18 on their roster is listed as a righty. This is a lefty, so we'll try to get word on that as soon as possible. DeFazio for his first at bat stands from the right side, closes off his stance a little more, and swings through a first pitch fastball. 0-1. Crawdads lead 3-0 here in the 9th. No balls and a strike to DeFazio. New lefty on the mound, ready. A long hold in the windup and his 0-1. DeFazio swings and misses, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. DeFazio has struggled with the strikeout this summer. Just looking to put the ball in play with 2 strikes, and hope his talent. I mean, it just gets him in. He's so good with the bat when he's right. Here's the 0-2, up high, 1-2. Crawdads lead by 3. Here in the 9th. 1-2. It's down and away. Looked like a changeup. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs. DeFazio for his first at bat. Long hold. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss on a fastball. DeFazio goes down. 5 straight Crawdads have been set down by way of the strikeout. And there's 1 out here in the 9th.
Awaiting the catcher, number 37, Nikhil.
Just got word the new pitcher is Antonio Villalobos, who wears number 88, but is listed as 18 today. So Villalobos in for the 2nd time against the Crawdads this year. They'll face Nikhil Beasley, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, scored a run after a walk. First pitch, Beasley waves and misses, 0-1. Carson got his burger after 46 minutes. And it's, sometimes the good, like, barbecue burgers, when they're frozen, are exactly what you need them to be. No balls and a strike. Beasley watches a pitch right down the middle, 0-2. But he says, and I quote, "This one sucks." No balls and 2 strikes. Beasley waiting, Villalobos ready. Comes set. Long molasses delivery from the lefty. Here's the pitch. It is swung on and missed. Strike 3. 6 straight Crawdads have struck out. That's not good. Survey says
Center fielder, number 33, Mark Wahlberg.
not great. Here's Mark Wilbert. Looking to end the string. Crawdads lead it by 3 here in the 9th. Villalobos against the lefty Wilbert. From the windup, peeks in. Now rocks back and fires the first pitch. It's a curveball that drops in for strike 1. A long, loopy motion. But he's good. He's got good stuff. I mean, the fastball, especially when he plays it off the curveball and changeup. And I think it just kind of gets on you quick because of how long, slow the delivery is. Here, curveball laced into center field. That's going to fall for a base knock. A 2-out hit. Mark Wilbert has reached base all 5 times. It's the 2nd time in about a week that he's done that. He is for real. I tried to warn y'all.
Second baseman, number 6, DJ Giorso.
Here's DJ Giorso. Giorso got his 2nd Crawdads knock. I'm going to go argue, by the way, Mark Wilbert's 7th inning should have been a hit because he would have beat it out 100%. The throw was bad, but he would have beat it out either way. Giorso singled him home back in the 7th. Officially, that's just the 4th hit for the Crawdads, and 2 of them have come from Wilbert. First pitch up high to Giorso, 1-0. First time we're seeing Villalobos from the stretch. This looks like it's going to be Nick Bronzini's game to finish. And again, if the Crawdads can only use 2 pitchers today, after only using 2 and 1-ish on Sunday, Braden Barnes only got 1 out, as this one grounded to 3rd, right at the 3rd baseman. Jacobs, who tosses across the diamond to retire the side. A 2-out knock for the Crawdads, but it's a 3-run lead going into the 9th. Bronzini time, trying to close it out here from Alameda. Bottom half of the ninth, a 3-run Crawdad lead for Nick Bronzini to try and preserve. He'll face Casey Levitt McGee to lead it off, and then Rocco Borelli and Shane Aldridge. Lefty on lefty, Bronzini against Levitt McGee. First pitch of the ninth is on the outside at the knees for called strike one. Bronzini struck out a pair in his first at-bat, and the last one was pretty electric. Him and Rogers in a battle, and just blew a fastball by him at the top of the zone. Delete me +6. 0-1. Slider misses down and away, 1-1. 3-0 Crawdads. Still a lot of ball to be played, and we've seen this this Alameda team can be pretty feisty late in games. Looks like Rowan Leto is getting loose in the Crawdads bullpen, likely not coming in unless something goes disastrous. Bronzini gets a fastball past him on the outside, 1-2. Bronzini ahead in the count, so he can strike out number 3. His 1-2. Lunged at, popped left side. That'll get foul. Good job by Levitt McGee to protect on the outside, but Bronzini is just so good. So happy I get to see him pitch this year. Carson's cold. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Bronzini's 1-2 delivery. You heard it. We'll do it again. In the games that we care about, Slow's taken a 1-run lead on Menlo Park. That game's been back and forth and back and forth. It's 4-3 as we go to the top of the 8th. San Francisco still clinging on to a 2-1 lead in the 8th. Here, ball and 2 strikes to Levitt McGee. 1-2. Slider popped foul again. Casey Levitt McGee, really good. Really solid. If I were to, there were rumors a couple years back that because the Crawdads and some of the other teams going into the playoffs were so low on players that basically there was going to be like a second draft for guys who on the non-playoff teams. This is a guy that I would want on my team. A ball and 2 strikes to Levitt McGee. Bronzini from the stretch delivers fastball, misses down and away, 2-2. And it was awesome that year because Solano had 2 guys, Chase Banks, Caleb Davis, who went back and pitched for Solano last year. But they would go out and throw 6-7 innings, 2 runs every single time, strike out like 2 batters, but not walk anyone. They would throw 110 pitches and love it. The 2-2. Fastball up high, 3-2. So good job by Levitt McGee to battle back in the count. Three balls, 2 strikes. No outs here in the 9th. Bronzini from the stretch. Kicks with the 3-2. Fastball struck him out swinging. Delete me. Back-to-back delete me strikeouts. And Nick Bronzini is rolling. Third strikeout for the Crawdads lefty. That'll bring up Rocco Borelli. 3-0 Crawdads lead here in the 9th. Looking to cut the magic number to 2 to clinch a playoff spot and 3 to clinch the North. Borelli, 1 for 3, a double play, a single, and a pop out. Lefty Bronzini, righty Borelli, first pitch. Fastball by him, a huge hack, and he was about a day late on it, 0-1. Bronzini is just unhittable sometimes. This, one of them. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Bronzini waiting, as is Borelli. It's back in the right-handed batter's box, and time is called. I can't say that. I don't know. No, I can. I don't know why Alameda's warming someone up. It's Nick Bronzini in the game. He's been dominant. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Bronzini ready. Now the 0-1. Slider up and away, 1-1. Crawdads lead by 3 in the 9th. trying to start a new win streak after their most recent one got snapped at the hands of the Sonoma Stompers on Sunday. A ball and a strike to the plate. Fastball, half swung at and fouled back and off to the right. 1-2. Dads lead by 3 here in the 9th. What has been a pretty complete game, especially on the defensive and pitching side of the ball. The offense has struggled, but have put together runs when they've needed to. The 1-2. Popped up behind the plate. Beasley removes the mask, gives it a look, makes the catch. A nice play by Nikhil Beasley for out number 2. Merchant's last chance. Shane Aldridge. Two-way player we've seen be really good on the bump. Here, facing the Crawdads at the dish. His first at bat of the day replaced Aiden Toklas. Bronzini ready. Waiting. First pitch to Aldridge. Slider. Down and away. Almost over the backstop. Almost could have been caught by us. That one, even Carson could have made a play on. A ball and no strikes to Aldridge. From the stretch, Bronzini to the plate. Fastball, outer black, called strike 1. A generous call, but no, that was strike 1. A ball and a strike. The pitch to Aldridge. Fastball. Called a little low, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Crawdads 3. Merchants none. 2-1 to Aldridge. Fastball, little outside, 3-1. Chase Jeremiah, the shortstop, on deck. Bronzini, though, all of his focus on the guy at the dish, Shane Aldridge. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Bronzini ready. To the plate with the 3-1 to Aldridge. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Already 3 strikeouts for Nick Bronzini. Number 4 would secure the win for the Crawdads. Bronzini set. Now the 3-2. A deep breath and the pitch. It is outside, ball 4. Try to go with the slider. Second walk for Nick Bronzini. That'll bring up Jace Jeremiah. Looks like it's going to be a pinch hitter. No. This is Blake Jacobs. Excuse me.
Third baseman, number 20, Jacobs.
So Jacobs, who's got a little power, stands in, holding an 0 for 2 day. Also walked. Right-handed hitter, holds the bat straight up in the air. First pitch to him from Bronzini. Fastball at the knees on the outside, called strike 1. Crawdads lead it by 3. Runner on first, Aldridge not being held on by Kosciuszko. 0-1. Jacobs pops it up, left side, this could do it. Calvillo, the third baseman, given away to the shortstop. It is, Calvillo, the third baseman, in fair territory, who makes the catch, and the Crawdads win. For the second time this week, the Crawdads have shut out their opponent, this time behind tremendous pitching by Cal Johnson. 3-0 final. The Crawdads win. We will be back in action tomorrow, and the Crawdads have cut their magic number to 3. You know what? That's going to do it for us. Not a ton more to say. Cal Johnson was terrific. The bats weren't great, but they came through in big moments. We'll see you tomorrow in SF as the Crawdads take on the Seagulls with a chance to potentially clinch a spot in the playoffs. Well, that's going to do it for us. For Olivia Arcenega and Dylan Allen on the pregame show, my name is Austin Oda. We will see you tomorrow.